Okay. Dan who? Dan double U. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands at my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're Deluxe. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. But hopefully you already are. Welcome to episode 219 of the Dan Who live show. Now, for anyone who may have just clicked on this video because the title itself says Best Marvel Legends of 2024, I hope you like long form content and you are in a comfortable seat, because this isn't no boring list where we're just going to rattle off the figures. No. We're literally going to go through the whole calendar year, wave by wave, release by release, and just give our general thoughts and feelings about these figures now we've had a little bit of time to enjoy them, to put them in our shelves, on our collection, have them in our hands. So yeah, this is basically more of a 2024 recap, and we're going to talk about some of our favorite figures as we go through. But I'm a YouTuber, content is king, so of course I'm going to be saving my top 10 until later in December. But today we will absolutely be discussing everything Marvel Legends 2024, recapping the year, having a little reflect and talking about what was the best and what was your favourites. But I cannot do that on my own. Of course I need a co-host, and Rich isn't about today. He's off on his adventures. I approved his annual leave, so enjoy your annual leave, Rich. So instead we have the super substitute. It is, of course, Jay from Jay's Toy Collection UK. Jay, thank you very much for always jumping in and filling the void that is Rich. How are you doing?
Hello, I am okay. Sorry to disappoint the chat. I can already see they're looking for Rich M's hot takes on 2024, but you're stuck with me, so you'll have to wait for Rich's hot takes. You're going to be stuck with me, and I've had these figures open for about an hour, so yeah, they're definitely fresh in my head.
Yeah, Jay has been playing the long game this year. After Marvel Legends and Hasbro sort of taught the community that if you wait long enough, these figures will eventually go on sale. Now, hopefully that is sort of changing, but they were, let's say, plentiful in sale options. So Jay thought in 2024, he's going to play the long game, and it's worked out well for you, right? Jay, you've managed to backtrack and get a lot of figures at decent discounts.
Yeah, it's not gone too well. The only thing it didn't work on was Xmen 97. That was a collecting faux pas, because I definitely had to overpay for them. But I should have balanced the books, hopefully, with some of the other savings I've made. So yeah, it's been one of those years. 23 and 24, I've been trying the long game strategy, and it's just about, I think, worked out for me.
Yeah, no, we'll discuss it as we go through today. So, as I said, we're going to go through everything. We're going to go through absolutely everything. Jamie's kicked us off with a channel membership. He says 45 months of channel membership. Absolutely crazy. Right, we're going to come to these cards in 1 second. But Jamie says 45 months is madness. That theme is so catchy. You've got my mum singing along now, Mr. Who. Hello, everybody. Pow. Wow. Listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Yes, I will do live performances for the right super chat. I will come and perform it in your living rooms. Just let me know, all right? Just hit me up for some bookings. So yeah, shout out Jamie. Octane also says pow. Zabu is my favourite of the year. Of course, we will discuss the whole Zabu Build-A-Figure wave. I still think there's a missing piece to that Savage Land trio. We know it is not the green jumpsuit Professor X that Jay is very happy about. Damien says, Chameleon done, now spread love for Mephisto. Mysterio, sorry. Mephisto is in the brain, what can I say? But yes, Mysterio. Rumours are coming, we're going to get an updated Mysterio too, but come on, Chameleon had no animated representation. He hadn't had a Chameleon in 10 years. It was worthy of the wait. And while the chat is there, I've just opened up the goal, all right? You know how this works now. We've been doing it for the last couple of weeks, and it's always doing well. With the Dan Who Extra show, all right, is an extra piece of content that after every single live stream on a Thursday, we have a little bit of a bonus content where we invite some channel members on to talk about their opinions on today's topic. Today's topic is, of course, the recap of 2024. But if we can get 5 super chats while we are live on the main show, I will leave the after show public. The after show is going to happen whether or not I get any super chats. So it's always a fun little mini Legends and Liquor virtual hangout, if you will. So it's going to happen regardless. But if you would like some bonus content and you want to sort of help towards making that public, then 5 super chats will get that to happen, all right? So I'll leave that there. That will continue throughout the show. I appreciate you all the same. While we're here, I'll scroll up for a little bit before we get to the housekeeping. Mark Tat was in nice and early. Smash that like button. Thank you very much, Mark. Kev's Collectibles was there as well. Said he just pre-orders his Agent Venom. Yes, there has been the Marvel Legend pre-order today that me and Jay will quickly recap as well. Kurt KZ, Damien, John, Legion X, Andrew the Strong Collectors has picked up Spider-Man Unlimited, Chameleon Kane, and Agent Venom. Not sure where they go, but I'll figure it out. That's right. I've been encouraging the strong collectors to be strong and order more Marvel Legends. We'll find space for them on the bus. It's absolutely fine. Kurt K, as I said, who else we got? Michael Davis, Striding, Space on the Shelf. There's Jay. Go and make sure you subscribe to Jay, people, all right? There's no excuses to not to be now. Super Turk 5000, Mini Plastic Multiverse, Justin Collects. Look, I took over a show recently, so I don't mind showing him some love. He says, make sure you hit that like button, Justified. Dan Hayden's there as well. RJ, Darth, Craig's Nostalgic Collecting. We don't forget the dots around here, Craig. Phil Jones has hit that like button as well. Cute, cool, compulsive collector. Shout out, John. Hoff the Basher says not first. What's he not first about? Either way, shout out to you. Figure Cave Collectibles says, evening all. Adam, are we on the big TV? That's all we care about. We just want to be on the big TV in the new Batcave. Keanu's there as well. Matt Bridge says, evening Who crew. Evening Matt. He says, just got my 90s Kane pre-order in at In Demand Toys. Robert is also here as well. He says, hello everyone. This is going to be an interesting. Hasbro have had a lot of good figures this year. Yes, they absolutely have. And again, we're going to talk about those cards in 1 second. But let me just show you. We are literally going to go through, thanks to Legendsverse, every single Marvel Legend that was revealed in 2024. Okay, we're just going to talk about the waves in general, our favourites, and what we ended up getting. Obviously, I got quite a lot of it, let's be honest, but let's recap, all right? So we're going to be talking about all the Marvel Legends, but first, you would have seen that I thrown this up at the start. Shout out to Star Action Figures. Now, if you've been in the UK for the last sort of part of the probably this half of the year, we've been getting very lucky with some exclusive art cards. Definitely not trading cards, art cards, all right? But they're very similar to trading cards. Let me go main screen. Sorry, Jay, 1 second. Let me just go there. So this was season 2 or series 2 of the art cards. You got Vision, Kabu and Kazar and Zabu. This is sort of like an amalgamation of the best figures, or some of the best figures of 2024. We got Black Panther, the Shield 3-pack, Patch and Joe Fix-It. So this is a series 2 of the art cards, but we have now got an exclusive third set, if you will, 2.5, I guess you could call it, but it is the Secret Wars, because Secret Wars are starting to hit in the UK. They are slow. Don't give me, they're a little bit slow, but they should all be in our hands before the end of the year. First one out the gate is Captain America, and Wolverine is also due by the end of the week as well. So if you've pre-ordered Wolverine, you should be getting them at the end of the week. Now, if you have pre-ordered these or are going to order these, if you choose to do so at Star Action Figures, then you will be gifted one of these absolutely free with your purchase, all right, as a little thank you. And these are a nice little accompanying collectible piece. So here is Captain America. He is currently in stock and available to order at Star Action Figures. So if I go down to their in stock section, you can see that Captain America is currently in stock at Star Action Figures right there. So if you order this at Star Action Figures, you will be gifted one of these art cards with it. And of course, if you continue to get the rest of them, including Wolverine, you will get Wolverine. And the other cards are yet to be revealed, but of course, you know who's in the wave, you know what the cards are going to be, but what do they look like? I promise you, they are beautiful. It's going to make a very nice collection. So as always, shout out Tom, aka Mini Plastic Multiverse, the co-host of Joe's and Truth, a regular on Turtles, a regular on Legend and Liquor. You will know who he is. So shout out Tom, Mini Plastic Multiverse. He's put these together in collaboration with Hasbro and Disney. It's all official. These are legit art cards to accompany the Marvel Legends. So shout out Tom, shout out Star Action Figures. Go and get them on their site. Do you like the look of these, Jay?
I do like the look of these. I've got 2 full sets so far, and luckily I have actually pre-ordered the entire wave with Star Action Figures, so that has worked out very nicely indeed. I have read a couple of comments that says your audio's gone a bit quiet and I sound like I'm on loudspeaker, so I don't know.
Okay,
We've got
I'll adjust. I'll find. I'll adjust.
A little adjustment there to satisfy the audience out there.
I will adjust.
I'll move the mic back, see if that
maybe
that
I
would
should
help.
shout.
Yes.
No, I won't shout. That will annoy the neighbours. But no, thank you. I've adjusted accordingly. I've turned Jay down a bit. I've turned me up a bit. So we should be good. Right. So what was I going to say? Let me just check these levels. Yeah. My level automatically adjusts. So if I shout, it will turn all the way down.
You've gone louder in my ear, so that may have worked.
Okay.
I will adjust on this end. Live YouTubing everybody here. As we
live streaming is crazy.
Levels for our sexy tones you can hear from us, but yeah, they do look nice so far, what we can see with the art cards. So we knew Tom was doing these, but we haven't actually seen what images he's gone for yet. It'd be interesting with the Beyonder, what's he doing with that planet, so I would be interested to see. But I'm happy if the wave does get a little delayed, because there's been a lot of bills at the moment and it's nearly Christmas, so any UK delay, I'm not actually going to be mad at this one. The more delayed, I'll be one happy collector.
Well, it's your fault for buying everything, all right? You like too many things, all right? You need to start disliking stuff. Throwing some claps in the emoji for Tom, emojis in the chat for Tom. Shout out Tom. And just showing off my card, by the way, real quick, that Tom also collected, which I am going to be sending these out. I've already got a list of names and addresses, so if you've already messaged me asking for one of these, I promise you I have got your name. I'll put it on a list and I will send it you. And look at that. I've inspired the strong collectors to become channel members. I did it. I cracked them. Yes, I did it. That was my whole plan this weekend, to go on their stream and crack them and encourage their channel membership so they can come on the channel. I told them I'm not breaking no rules for anybody. To be a guest on the channel, you have to be a channel member. And they're absolutely showing some love. Let me go to... have you seen the strong collectors, Jay?
I have watched the Strong Collectors this afternoon as I was unboxing Marvel Legends, even though they completely forgot my name last time I was on the stream. I will forgive them.
This is Jay.
Dakota in the bus.
Jay.
Hello.
Dakota Jordan. Jay Dakota Jordan. All right, everyone remember Jay.
I was listening to their hot takes. Jordan was breaking the rules there. I could see potentially with some of those previous Toy Biz figures. So they're doing their draft, a Rich M special. Yeah. I see things like a Red Widow were mentioned. So hopefully Rich is not watching any of these on the replay, because he's not going to be Happy Bunny. Because I even think, a slight spoiler for the Strong Collectors here, somebody had the audacity to pick Chris Star on the list.
I know.
Chris Star made the list.
They are unaware. They are unaware of the Chris Star hate from Rich. I'm going to pin the video to the top of the chat so you can check that out. But basically, I did a video with them over the weekend. Dakota put a list together of different categories, and then we went and discussed our favourites or dislikes or whatever it may be, our grievances. Definitely had some grievances on the Strong Collectors podcast, so please go and show some love to Dakota and Jordan. Obviously, I love what they're doing there. Just fun conversations about the hobby, no controversy. They're good people. They're just passionate collectors like us. Definitely some of the good guys out there on YouTube, so please go and show them some love. The Strong Collectors, go and watch our video as well. And yeah, keep an eye on them, because I think they've already done their ranking for 2024, where they've literally put one of those ranking tables, tier listings, if you will, for Marvel Legends. So yeah. Apparently I didn't like the video. Oh, there you go. I like the video now.
Okay, you can overdue.
People are.
It's been.
People
It's
are. I didn't even realise.
They're on you there.
Yeah, they're
It's
on
been
me
a
there.
Dan Who YouTube tour this past weekend.
It's
Though you
true.
started off impromptu on my live stream on the Friday night,
Yeah.
then you did your own live stream, then over to Justin's, then over to the Strong Collectors. So 4 days of Marvel Legends streaming for all your listening pleasure out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is what happens when Amanda's not in the house. I start saying yes to all the American live streams. I'd love to do. Don't get me wrong. I always say I'm a fan first and foremost. So I'm very happy to always collaborate and talk toys when we get the opportunity to. But sometimes the time zones don't exactly work out. But Amanda was away, and I ended up being up until 5 in the morning on Justin's channel. So shout out to Justin Collects and the crew over there. We've got David, Evan, and Smith. We've got Kenny, who definitely didn't give me any passwords. It wasn't Kenny. It could have been some other people. I think there's Justin. He eventually joined, and I think even Alexi got involved with us as well towards the end of the night. Look, there he is. He speaks for the people. He speaks for everybody. Shout out Your Boys Got Toys. So yeah, go and check that out as well. I think I just wanted to be the most viewed live stream on Justin's channel. I think currently I am. So that's all that matters to me.
I may have checked the statistics earlier. You are Justin's most viewed live stream, and also you're now my most viewed live stream. It's been 10 views ahead of the one previously about New York, I think. So records are being broken all over YouTube this weekend.
Look, when people want to talk Marvel Legends, they know who to ring, all right? Let's talk Dan Who, and we can absolutely do that. So let's do that. Let's talk some Marvel Legend news, all right? So shout out the Strong Collectors. I appreciate them coming to channel member. Honestly, they can welcome on the channel anytime now, but I appreciate that. Yeah, Justin knows I love him, really. It's all love. It's just like when you're teasing someone in the playground, you fancy them, really. So yeah, I love Justin, really. Right, let's go to today's pre-order. The Marvel Legend wave that I have been waiting for, Jay. I'm still so happy. It's been nearly a week now since these were revealed, but yeah, just under a week, and I'm still very, very happy that Chameleon on the retro card isn't a myth. It's no longer a if or a but. It's actually happening. I am so very happy. I'm going to try my best to get my hands on that before anybody else. But the whole wave, I think, is a solid wave. Even like when things first get revealed, you're initially excited to check them out and talk about them. But then the dust settles and you're like, oh, do I really care about Francine Fry? But look, I still think it's a solid wave. I genuinely think there are no misses in this wave. There may be some characters you're less familiar with, but let's be honest, talking subjectively, these Marvel Legends are a great representation of the characters they are meant to be portraying in plastic. A completely pinless wave. Chameleon on the retro card, you know I've been wanting it. We've got Unlimited Spider-Man. We've got Kane all on the Toy Biz tribute packaging. And then we've got an updated Agent Venom, which was massively needed. That old Agent Venom was really outdated. Spider-Boy, first time in the line, and first time in the line for the female Electro, who is a different character. It's not just a gender switch of Electro. It is a different character. It's his former girlfriend who was cloned and she ended up getting his power, Francine Fry. So all fair game in the collection. I have pre-ordered all of these. These went up for pre-order today. Right now, you can pre-order them anywhere you like. They are up for pre-order, just a general Marvel Legends release. It's not exclusive to anywhere. It's a main line. You can order them in the place you feel most comfortable, but go and get them. It's a Spider-Man wave with some heavy hitters. Jay, I'm assuming you have done exactly the same.
I've not.
What?
Oh, here we go. Right.
Okay.
I've done some, but I have not done all. So I had to think about it. I've mulled it over for a week. And of course, Chameleon, the same as you. We both grew up on the animated series. So as excited as you are with all the hallelujahs that were dropping last week, finally Chameleon is here. So yes, Chameleon was one of the quickest Marvel Legends I could possibly ever pre-order. So Chameleon, 100% in on that. Very, very happy. Would like a second probably to keep on the wall, but I've gone for one for now. But because of my... Alexi gave me some very good advice at the end of Justin's stream. I think he said, stop collecting toys, Jack. So that was some sound financial advice. So I'm going to continue my game of pre-order the ones I'm absolutely desperate for, and there's no way I'm going to miss out on. And I'll take my chances on the other. So I have pre-ordered half the wave. I've gone in for 3 of them, and I will take my chances on the other 3 is my strategy. So we'll give Dan a live test. How well does he know my collecting habits? And what 3 did I go for?
Well, I would instantly go for the free Toy Biz tribute, right?
You would be wrong in this occasion. That would have been.
Yeah,
that would have been. Right.
So let me caveat then. So that's where I think you would have went. But if you were going to change, you're definitely going for Chameleon and Kane, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Correct.
So a limited Spider-Man you haven't really got much of an attachment to, but I bet you like the look of that Agent Venom.
Correct. Well done.
There you
Yes,
go.
that is the three I've gone for. Now, the Unlimited Spider-Man I would like, but my first comment when I saw it last week was, for once, I think it actually does need cell shading. The character has so much black within the show, highlighting the blue. I think it really needs it. And then I was watching another stream, a shout out on Parallel, watching Wade with Dan Young last week as well on the Marvel Legends streams that are all happening over the internet. And Dan did kind of say himself that if they ever had an opportunity to do this one again, he also would kind of like to add the shading. So that made me think, I would prefer it with the shading. I'll take this one if I have to, because I would like representation of that character, but I'll take my chances because I would prefer it with shading. So I didn't go for him off the bat, but definitely, as you said, with Agent Venom, I've got the original one, but that's going to go straight in the sale pile because that looks so much better. Plus the unmasked head, those stupid ball jointed hips are finally out the way. So I thought Agent Venom would be quite popular. I think some of our US friends have confirmed. I think Agent Venom, Chameleon, Kane potentially all sold out on Pulse US or some of the sites in America.
Doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me.
They were gone on, so I definitely had to go in for those three. Francine Fry, I can probably live without a Francine Fry, so I'll get her if she gets reduced. And as I said last week, I'd never even heard of Spider-Boy. I did like the alternate head, so again, I wouldn't mind adding a new character to the collection, but I'm not 100% desperate, so trying to be sensible, I've gone for half the wave. That's the current plan anyway.
Okay, no, it's fair game. As I said, I genuinely think there's something to love about all of them, but I completely get that not everything will fit into everyone's collection, and that's absolutely fine. I don't disagree, by the way, with the cell shading for it's one of those where it's not that I would ever want cell shading on a figure, but that one sort of needs it. California
Red Devil donated $4.99. Has anyone checked on Rich since the demise of the Sonyverse?
That's why Rich isn't here. He's actually in mourning. Shout out California Red Devil. Did Man U win today? I didn't see the game. I know Chelsea won in the freezing cold, but shout out California Red Devil. He says, has anyone checked on Rich since the demise of the Sonyverse? Yes, Rich is currently grieving the Sonyverse. That's why he couldn't make today's stream. He is just wearing a black veil and holding a rose, standing with his Madam Web in the dark. Clearly,
that is one topic I thought we needed to talk about. Actually, I'm just reading the chat first though, because Compulsive Collector, You've Always Got Toys, and Kev's Collectibles have all correctly predicted the figures I pre-ordered, and then Jay's an open book, so apparently I'm so easy to read. It's so simple indeed. But yes, I did pull up an article from Forbes that I thought you would be interested in, talking about the demise of the Sonyverse, and apparently after Craven, they're just going to give up and go back to doing Spider-Man films.
Good. Well, that's not what the general consensus have been telling them anyway. The MCU is the MCU. Stop trying to make your own thing. Like, there's a reason the MCU works. Trust in Kevin Feige, our Lord and Savior, right? And hopefully the Russos can come back together. There's rumours out there that Chris Evans is coming back, which, again, like, there was a time in the comics where Chris Evans was an old man Cap, and like he was the advisor to the Uncanny Avengers. So like, I don't think they're going to do that. But anyway, I'm curious. I trust the Russos and Kevin Feige that. But next year, I'm looking forward to the movies that we get next year. Captain America, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Daredevil's back. I do think the MCU is going to hopefully kick back into gear next year.
The proper MCU is good to go next year. But as an avid Marvel watcher of most things, I'm not going to go see Craven. I've not seen Venom 3. I fell asleep during Madam Web, so and I bet you've not even seen half them either. No. So if we're not watching, who is watching?
This is my point. I'm a Marvel fan. Look at this room. Like, I love Marvel, but I have got no interest. I've not seen Madam Web, not seen Venom 3. and I don't have any interest in seeing Craven either. I just don't care. And like, if you can't get me and us and the community that love Marvel into the cinema, then good luck to you. But yeah, Sony, just cut your losses, right, and let Kevin Feige do what the hell he wants with these Spider-Man characters. All right, stop trying to make stuff happen. Anyway, right. What did Mini Past Movie said? Really wanted the unmasked head for Agent Venom, and got to get Chameleon and the Spider characters. Yes, absolutely. I'm very happy to see the unmasked head actually for Agent Venom. Flash Thompson, for sure. So yeah, lots of people put some pre-orders in. It's good to see. Again, this is officially Dan Yoon confirmed on his Twitter, right? So there's no controversy. This is the first wave of 2025. Okay, the first wave. Yes, it went up for pre-order now, but we're not getting it until next year unless Rich can work his magic. But we shall see. But on Pulse, it actually says.
I didn't look at the date. What is the date?
It says May in Pulse.
Really?
Yeah, I know. So if we go to like on Pulse, they're currently all still available on UK Pulse. They're all up for pre-order. But if we go to Chameleon, then the date is the 1st of May. The 1st of May. Mm-hmm. So yeah, a while. We'll be waiting a while. So fingers crossed they turn up a little bit sooner. Jamie says it says the February on the Independents. So yeah, and then it says April on Amazon US. So as always, distribution, great stuff. Nice clear clarity from distribution there. But no, I am assuming if it's the first wave of 2025, it should be Q1. So the UK is a little bit behind at the minute. So yeah, February sounds about right. But I'm assuming these will start hitting overseas. These are probably already on the way to MCU Collector. I don't know, all right? Let's just shut down CMD Toys. Let's do that.
The CMD store.
Let's close the borders to Canada, right? Let's stop Canada from supplying the world with Marvel Legends early because it's far too expensive for me to import them from there. But yeah, hopefully... Gary says, I'm sure Rich can seduce someone at Hasbro to get the wave early. Trust me, Rich would not seduce anyone at Hasbro. It is not Hasbro that Rich gets the stuff from. Rich has his own sources. If Hasbro wouldn't give you stuff early, would they? They'd actually keep it. So it's not Hasbro, I can confirm. Everyone always thinks Brandon's getting me stuff early. Trust Brandon, are you getting me anything? Do you know what I mean? Like, trust me, it's
he tells us nothing. He gives us generally true.
He's a professional. He's a professional, isn't he? Like, trust me, it's overseas. But anyway, we've got to try and work on magic. I need Chameleon first. I need to be the first Chameleon, but we will find out. Anyway, right. So we've discussed the pre-orders. Go and check out my talk about early stuff. Rich definitely seduced somebody to get Dark Miss Marvel. So go and check out my review for Dark Miss Marvel. She's on the packaging. It may say Dark Warbird, but trust me, it's not Dark Warbird. She was never referred to as Dark Warbird. Moonstone was never called Warbird. It is Dark Miss Marvel from the Dark Avengers. We're slowly starting to build the new Dark Avengers. I am assuming we're going to get a new Draken, whatever he is called in the new year. But go and check out my Dark Miss Marvel review on the channel right now. That one is due early next year as well. But thankfully, I got this in hand. So I'm hoping if Rich can get this in hand, he can work his magic with the new Spider-Man wave as well. But we shall see. Right, so we've talked about the art cards as well. Shout out Star Action Figures. They look great. Now let's get into recapping 2024, shall we? Let's just get straight into it. Right, so let's scroll all the way down and go to page 1. And let's start. So, I know Rich doesn't like me saying this.
The first official wave of 2024.
I know he doesn't like me saying it, right? But technically, the Void Wave was released the 1st of the 1st, 2024. So, technically, this is the first wave, in the same way the Spider-Man Retro wave was the first wave of 2025. The Void was the first wave of 2024. Now, granted, I did all my reviews for this wave in December of 2023, but technically, for the sake of recapping the calendar year, this is fair game. So, have you built the Void, or do you have any interest in building the Void?
I have built most of the Void, but I am still missing... I suppose I've only built half the Void, I should say. I've got a 50... I would like to build the Void, but I've not gone in on half the wave. Currently, apparently, is my Marvel Legends strategy, which is buy half the wave. So I was what did I go on day 1? I don't think I went any on day 1, actually. My earliest order was Black Panther and Vision, Devon, and I went in, I think, 3rd on Namor. And then I didn't bother with Power Princess, realized that was going to be a mistake because she seemed a very, very popular legend. So I quickly got in on her before she sold out and definitely went up on the aftermarket. But I've not touched Crystar out of respect to Rich M. So I'm having that noted, Rich. I have not bought Crystar out of respect to you. Namor Rita, I really don't want, but I need the Build-A-Figure piece. And I could do with getting Justice. So I would like the Build-A-Figure, but I hear it does have trouble standing up. It's quite a display toppler. So I wasn't sure. So it's not my favourite wave of the year.
Yeah, no,
to start with.
Definitely, I can see in the chat as well people saying similar stuff. Now this wave, I've basically had this wave for a whole year now. So like these characters, usually I wait before I rearrange the display. I wait like a year, so I don't have to like constantly take away my figures and move them around. So, but the Void, because I got them so early last year, they are in the display, and I agree. The Void Build-A-Figure is an interesting choice for the Build-A-Figure. It's an interesting character design that I think they've executed pretty well into plastic, but it is very awkward to stand and fit in the collection, especially my sort of school book sort of photograph collection. He's just very, it requires a bit of balancing. He's leaned up against somebody, so yeah, like the Void is pretty awkward to display, granted, but the wave does have some heavy hitters in it. We needed an updated Vision. He looks great, happy to have him. Power Princess was that last piece we needed to complete the Squadron Supreme. Again, great female Marvel legend, one of the best female Marvel legends. Interesting choice for Namor Rita. I do think she's a character we need in the collection, but I would have preferred the sort of regular Caucasian skin tone with the green sort of one piece, the scaly one piece. The blue version was for New Warriors, and like it was a very particular era, and the comic design for her was a bit more cartoony. We never really seen that portrayal of Namor Rita in the comics much, only a few panels. I know John really likes her. John in the chat says Namor Rita and Red Widow are my favourite figures of the year. Look, Rich isn't here today, so you're stirring the pot. You're just wasting your energy.
I think John has a habit of just saying the opposite of what Rich says.
He just likes getting abused by Rich. He has a weird Rich kink where he just wants Rich to abuse him all the time. He likes it. But yeah, Namor Rita, it's a good figure for the version it's representing. It's just the version nobody wanted. Crystar, again, interesting choice. Expansion of the Marvel universe, I guess. Not technically Marvel, but it is. It's a weird one. But will they do any supporting characters? Probably not, but it's one of those. Black Panther's a great figure as well. So Savage Namor, we've got Namors. And Justice is another character we did need, but he has different costumes and whatnot. But I'm quite happy with that. So again, it's a solid wave. It was a solid wave to start off the year. I always like adding new characters to the collection, and no one can challenge that this wave didn't have some. So as we do go through these waves, Jay, let's just pick our favourites, right? You and me and Jay are both going to obviously do our top 10 Marvel Legends of 2024 on a separate video on our channels, all right? So we don't really want to give away our rankings as such, but we will definitely tell you our favourites as we go through here. So for me in this wave, Jay, I'm going to say Power Princess was probably the one I needed the most out of this, as it completed the Squadron Supreme. But we definitely needed an upgrade for Vision as well, as being one of my A-tier Avengers and West Coast Avengers, etc. So I'm going to say Power Princess, runner-up, Vision. What about yourself?
Right, yeah, this is effectively, ladies and gentlemen, this is market research for ourselves and our top 10. We've got to remember what actually came out in 2024, so we're doing it live.
Take notes as we go, Jay. Take notes as we go.
Vision is where I thought you would go. For my favourite by a long shot is actually Namor. I do like the Savage version of Namor. It's just because I have him on a cover of one of the omnibuses that's behind me. Again, never read the thing, but it looks nice on the shelf, and that artwork is on the front, so I was used to seeing that. So he takes the top spot for me. Black Panther would be second, and I think Vision would come third.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Justin Collects says David Evan Smith is not a fan of that Namor Rita. Yes, he was very passionately not happy about Namor Rita on our stream with Justin. The Blatchler is trying to get me cancelled, but I don't think there is a version of Namor Rita like that. Lorenz, I'm not playing your games. And Compulsive Collector said, if being abused by Rich is wrong, I don't want to be right. And that's fair enough. That is fair enough. Dakota, I assume that's Dakota. He says from the Strong Collectors, he says Crystar is his favourite, and runner-up is Black Panther. He must also like being abused by Rich, because that is inevitably going to be coming if his favourite is Crystar. Tanner says Vision is the best in this wave. Gary A says, Dan, one thing I wish reviews would do is say where the figure can go in their collection, or what collection or specific figure belongs to. Gary, I agree, and I feel like I do that in my reviews. I do feel like when I do my comparison segment, I always try and complement that figure with the characters that they would best accompany on a display. Would you challenge that I don't? Because I think I do a pretty good job at that. So, yeah, Gary, I agree for the record, and I hope I do that. Definitely look at my comparison segments. I feel like I complement the figures together. Jay, if you watch to the end of his reviews, you actually see him place it in the display, which I quite like as well.
When I actually get round to review, you will find it, because I can't be bothered to do the comparison in the traditional YouTube way. It's going in the collection, and it's staying there.
Yeah, Vision was the best. Chris Starr is a close second for me, says Ashaholic, and Luston agrees. All right, cool. So that was the first wave. So let's jump back to what we've got going on here. So let's keep going up. So it seems like the second wave was the Spider-Man retro wave. So similar to what the sort of Nemesis Build-A-Figure and the Spider-Man waves that went up for pre-order today are the first waves hit in 2025. That's what happened with the Void wave and this Spider-Man wave in 2024. So I think I've got a separate image of that up. Yes, there I go. So there is the Spider-Man retro card. This was the first time we sort of got the half and half wave with the half modern, half retro cards, which I'm absolutely fine with, because some of these characters don't really make sense to be on the Toy Biz card. But if you're a character from the 90s, then you absolutely are. And Scarlet Spider was actually in the animated show. Briefly, granted, but he was in the animated show. The other two weren't in those particular designs. Tombstone was in the animated show, but in a different outfit. Jack-O-Lantern, I don't think, was ever in the animated show. But those characters, I think, are fair game for the Toy Biz tribute. And then we got Spider Shot and like Spider Shot and The Last Stand Spider-Man, which are two basically what-if variants of Spider-Man. But it's Spider-Verse. People love just adding every different Spider-Man to their character. And then Hallows Eve was a nice accompanying piece to Chasm that we also got. And she was a first time in the line character. So it's an interesting mix of characters here. Again, all my reviews on my channel in December of 2023. Got very lucky, and I'm a sucker for all things Spider-Man. So, yeah, I liked this wave, but definitely more so the classic characters, as we needed an upgrade of the Scarlet Spider-Man. Before that, it was a bit we had the shiny one on the retro card, and then an even earlier one in the old Build-A-Figure wave. So that was an updated, completely pinless, better articulated Scarlet Spider-Man. Tombstone, not my favourite look for Tombstone, but it was a bigger, bulkier, new suited body, and I always like adding new characters, and so Jack-O-Lantern actually was the surprise of this wave. I like that a lot more than I thought I was going to. But Jay, what about you in this wave? Who did you eventually end up picking up?
Right, I've just gone over 50% on this one. I thought, oh my god, I'm going to do 50% again, but I've just got 4 out of the 6. You can probably guess straight away that I did not buy the 2 Spider-Man variants there, the more modern variants of Spider-Man. I didn't go for those 2. But out of the other 4, I believe day 1 for me was Scarlet Spider, because I'm an experienced Marvel Legends collector, and you know that a normal Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, those things sell out and go for silly, silly money, which that did straight away in the UK. So I pre-ordered the Scarlet Spider, and I picked up Jack-O-Lantern and Tombstone as soon as I saw them at retail. And then a few months later, I think I picked Hallows Eve up on like an Amazon discount. So again, she was learning through action figures, which again, I know you like to do and I like to do as well. Never heard of Hallows Eve. Thought that costume was pretty cool though. I like the design. It was announced at MCM last year. So this was MCM 2023 that we had. It was half the wave at MCM and half the wave at 1027. I do believe they actually announced some of these figures. So I learned about Hallows Eve through the medium of action figures, so that was good to see. Jack-O-Lantern, that version we'd not had since the Spider-Man Classic subline. I think it was actually on one of the other cards, but if it was the same version as that. And then Tombstone, again, it's not the animated look, but it looked really cool in the suit. I did like seeing that at MCM, so I really was quite keen on Tombstone. So if I had to rank from this wave, I would go definitely Tombstone number 1 from me, Jack-O-Lantern number 2, and Scarlet Spider number 3. It's got much better articulation than the previous one, but I'm not that bothered about articulation compared to some out there. So I think that would take 3rd spot for me in this one.
Very nice. Just want to show people in the chat as well. Some of these are on sale right now in the UK. So if you are at the end of the year as we approach Christmas and you're trying to backtrack on some of the earlier figures that came out this year, In-Demand Toys have actually put some of these up for sale. So you've got the Last Stand Spider-Man, $7.99. You've got Tombstone, which is Jay's favourite figure out of this wave. So Compulsive Collector.
That's a bargain.
Big fan. $7.99 for this as well. Hallows Eve, another new character. Again, will pair up great with Chasm. She's $7.99, and I do think there are some others. Jack-o'-lantern was also $7.99. So go and check out In-Demand Toys. They've got a decent sale on right now if you are trying to backtrack some of these figures. I'm going to say in this wave, Scarlet Spider was the most needed in regards to an update. And then I'm going to say, so I'll say Scarlet Spider, and then I'm going to say Jack-o'-lantern. He was like I like figures better in hand than I thought I was going to, if you know what I mean. I think he pairs up really good with his hover disc, and it made me do a little bit of backtracking, reading the different versions of Jack-o'-lantern and whatnot as well. So yeah, not my mind's eye of Tombstone, but it is a comic accurate version, so I can understand why people like it. But I definitely, all my mind's eye characters for the Spider-Man Rose Gallery is how they appeared in the animated show. So it's the shirt, isn't it? The shirt with a big collar.
It is. I think your problem with Tombstone is, of course, you have the variant without the crowbar in the packaging, and it's caused you so much distress over the years. That's literally just come back to me on the spot.
When I did the review for Tombstone, I dropped his crowbar during the review, and I completely forgot about it, and then people were in the comments going, "Where's his crowbar?" And I was like, "Whoops, forgot about that." And I probably moaned he had no accessories as well. But anyway, solid wave again. If you're a Spider-Man fan, and I think I said a minute ago it was the first wave that did the half and half. But again, I mentioned Chasm, so I'm wrong because it was the second wave that did that. The first wave that did that had the modern Miles Morales, Chasm, and one other that I forgot off the top of my head. So it wasn't the first wave that did the half and half, but it was another one, and we have since had one more as well. So
the Electra, wasn't it? I think.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Absolutely right. It was Chasm, Electra, and Miles. And then we've got, so technically on the new it's not a retro card, on the new Spider-Man card back, including this new wave, we've got 9 figures on that new card now, and 10 if you include the Marvel and Universe Moon Spider one as well, I guess. So yeah, some different stuff. All right, good stuff. Let's keep going then. Right, let's go back to the list. So again, we're just scrolling through here. Okay, so let's go to the Wolverine. So this is the spring program. They started teasing these at the end of last year. So I'm going to just throw these up, and I'm going to throw in as a bonus the Wolverine and Spidey pack as well. So on screen right now are the 5 Wolverine 2-packs that came out this year. We had more Wolverines throughout the year. We will get to them, but these are the 5 Wolverine 2-packs that came out during 2024. So we got the 4 that came out at the start of the year to celebrate his anniversary, but we of course continued celebrating his anniversary throughout the year. I may even have enough Wolverines to do a top 10 Wolverines this year. I need to count, but if I can, I will. But we have
do a top 10 BAF, but you can do a top 10 Wolverine.
Yeah, I did it with Spider-Man one year, so why not Wolverine? So we've got the Brood Wolverine with Lalandra. Lalandra was absolutely needed. We got probably a character that's going to be in a lot of people's top 10s by the end of the year. It is the bigger, bulkier version of Sabretooth with a Logan, a sort of civilian Wolverine. Then we got the Samurai Wolverine with a first time on the line Lady Mandarin. Not the Mandarin we wanted this year, but it was a Lady Mandarin all the same. Basically, Psylocke's first appearance as the sort of Asian Psylocke in the comics, if I remember correctly. And then a 2-pack that I really like, just because it's just mind's eye of that comic panel. It is Patch and Joe Fixit. Definitely not Wolverine and Hulk. It's definitely not. It's not them. It's not Wolverine and Hulk. It's Patch and Joe Fixit, all right? Definitely not Wolverine and Hulk. And then that Fantastic Four, Wolverine and Spider-Man to go along with your sort of Valeria and Franklin Richards 2-pack that we got the year prior to complete that sort of a Fantastic Four team from the Dan Slott comics, I think. But again, 5 Wolverine 2-packs here, Jay. What did you end up getting with these?
Well, if you discount the little blue thing on the bottom, all of them.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is embarrassing. So the spring program, Dan has just said there, the spring program. Yeah. These figures, I unboxed them about an hour ago. So I became an accidental mint on card collector. Hence today's video, the hill of Hasbro, is I'd stacked up about 40 Marvel Legends because I haven't actually got round to unboxing nearly anything I'd done this year. I knew I was coming on tonight. I thought I better have some feel of these figures. I better actually get off my ass and unbox these things because my top 10 video this year would all be stuff in boxes, and I'm not a mint on card collector. So yes, at least that has been finally achieved. What did I get straight away? Day one, I pre-ordered instantly the Hulk and the patch. I love the white suits. I think that's a fantastic comic book cover. So I was desperate to get that one. And I took my chance and waited on the rest. I managed them, I think, to pick them up on one of the Pulse premium special days, whatever they call their power sale days or something like that.
Yeah.
So got them for a slight discounted price. And first impressions, literal first impressions, I've only had them in hand for about an hour. I like every single one of the packs. The Lady Psylocke is the Lady Mandarin, I should say.
Great
Psylocke, fantastic figure, really, really nice in hand. The Sabretooth is bulky. He is a bulky figure, so I was very impressed with that Sabretooth so far. And I think you popped over once earlier in the year for a cup of tea, and you brought round the Lilandra and the Abrood little 2-pack. So I did get an early look at those, and I like that since then. So this, so far for me, some of the best figures of the year in this Wolverine sort of summer or spring program. So I definitely was a fan of those. Oh, Dan's got the hill up. There it is.
Yeah.
The hill in the toy room in front of the Marvel Legends wardrobe. My literal last 6 months of Legends. I'm so slow at unboxing things. I do apologise.
Yeah, Jay posted this video earlier today. He's called it the Hill of Hasbro, and as you can see, it's got a tower of unboxed Marvel Legends from 2024. So he opened all of these up before today's stream, so we could have an actual feel for them. Yeah, he was showing them all off as well. So I assume you got to the 2-packs. You got loads there, actually.
Yeah, they were quite stable, you see, so they were at the bottom of the pile because they were quite good for balancing.
Oh, there you go.
Good packaging. Good solid packaging on those. It was, and you see, I've not changed my t-shirt, so still in the Cactus Chat t-shirt.
Bang, bang. So there you go. I'll post that in the chat so you guys can go and check that out later and hear Jay's thoughts on his buying habits and find out how he got all these on sale. Yeah, definitely go and check out the Hill of Hasbro over on Jay's Toy Collection UK. All right, let me close that and go back to that. Okay, so I agree with Jay. I think that genuinely there is something to like about all of these sets. I like adding new characters. Lilandra, we'd literally had a floating head for a long time, but this was a complete upgrade, brand new. She paired up really nicely as well with the Uncanny Xmen 3-packs that we had got the year prior. Hopefully we get some more She-Hulk characters this year, well, in 2025. Rumours are, and again, these are just rumours out there on all these leak lists that have emerged, that we're going to get her sister, Death's Bird, and a Gladiator 2-pack. So again, we did get Warlord, Professor X, Charles Xavier, but pairs up really nicely with her, of course, as they were going to rule the She-Hulk together. So yeah, you definitely find a place for a Lilandra on your shelf. I really like the Brood Wolverine. I feel like we need a new Brood Queen and some Brood characters, and like get some other Brood variants of the X-Men.
Definitely.
So that would be a nice. I always like it was like obviously alien inspired and stuff like that. So yeah, I like the Brood Wolverine, but I want more Brood hybrid X-Men. I think Storm it happened to Storm. Any other characters I'm forgetting? Let me know in the chat. Lady Mandarin as well. Again, not the Mandarin we wanted, but I'm not mad to have this one. It's a solid figure and a great representation of that first sort of appearance Psylocke for Lady Mandarin. And it was an upgrade to the upgrade to the Samurai Wolverine as well. So this one's all pinless, better face tech for the printing. Sabretooth was probably the highlight because everyone wanted a new Sabretooth on the Omega Red body. So it's got the better like proportions, and it absolutely is a great version of Sabretooth. So again, expect to see that in a lot of people's top 10s as the year runs down here. I love the tuxedos, the white suits. Again, what can I say? I just like it. And then that last pack that Jay didn't want to talk about, again, pairs up nicely with the figures we've got. I ended up getting everything on the screen, of course I did, because I like completing little teams, and I think they go great with the Dan Slott version of the Fantastic Four and Franklin and Valeria. So yeah, there's lots of Wolverine celebrating his 50th anniversary. Technically, we are still in 2024. It is still his 50th anniversary. And there are more Wolverines that we got throughout the year that we will discuss as we go through. But yeah, so in regards to individual figures here, Jay, rather than picking the box sets, let's pick a favourite and a runner-up. I'm going to go for, I think it has to be, I was going to go Sabretooth as my number one, but I technically already had a Sabretooth in my collection. Granted, not as good as that one, but the character was represented in plastic all the same, where I was fed up of having no Lilandra head for a while. So I'm going to say Lilandra number one, and Sabretooth is my runner-up, just because Lilandra finally had some better representation on my shelf rather than Rogue or Mystique holding a head. What about yourself?
It's difficult. It's difficult. There is a lot I actually really do like about all of these. I think I'm going to give a number one to actually the Lady Mandarin Psylocke, because that surprised me the most. That in terms of figure, I think that's the best figure. And I love the Hulk, but I think Sabretooth would have to take number two. I know I'm not massive into articulation, but if Hulk could just cross his arms,
if you
then he would. If I could just do that, he would have taken the spot. But because I can't quite do it, he's going to have to come down a little in the ranking.
I agree. If we could have recreated that cover with them arms crossed, that would have been very nice. And for the record, Lady Mandarin, I do think she's going to get overlooked on a lot of people's top 10 lists this year, because it's a solid representation of the character. It's just, unfortunately, that character just doesn't have a lot of attachment to collectors and to people, so people are going to overlook it. But looking at it subjectively, of a Marvel legend, like utilizing all its current tech to represent a comic book page, it's a solid figure. So if it does pop up in a few top 10 lists, don't be surprised, but I have a feeling it might get a little bit overlooked due to the obscurity. It's not really the Psylocke that people think of when they close their eyes. So but anyway, solid packs for Wolverine. And that was the spring program for last year, and we still don't really know what the spring program is for 2025, but it could be X-Men related again, as the last two spring programs have been X-Men related. Remember, we got the Uncanny X-Men 3 packs, and we got Blob, and we got Rogue, and then this year we got the Wolverine packs, and we got Angel. Next year, days away at this point, what's it going to be? It's going to be X-Men related again? I'm going to assume so, okay? So we shall see. Maybe X-Force related. Who knows? But let's keep going through the list here. So I think next up on the list, Jay, is the X-Men 97. So this is a topic within itself. Because these were the perfect accompanying piece to the Sentinel that inevitably went up for pre-order, but it wasn't released this year, so it's not really up for discussion today. But these figures absolutely are fair game. Now, that one's from Wave 1. This one's from Wave 2. Like Jay, I was a little bit slow on getting these, because these were released, remember, before the show debuted. The show didn't debut until March, and no one really knew if it was going to hit that nostalgia spot like we all wanted to. Thankfully it did, and it went beyond. It was better than we all expected it to be, which I think everybody is happy about, which is what made these figures so damn desirable, is because everyone was a little bit cautious at first. Because at first, when these were released, they were all plentifully available. They weren't selling out straight away. They were there, available.
I had Rogue in my basket and Gambit, and I think I had them at like 10% off as well on Kapow Toys about a year ago. And I thought, oh no, I don't need them. And then Rogue is suddenly boom, £100 figure when the show comes out. Luckily for me, they're doing that re-release next year of Rogue and Gambit. But if they hadn't, that would have been one of the collecting mistakes of a lifetime.
Yeah. So let me just try and get a better picture of these X-Men. Wave 2, wasn't it? So we are expecting a Wave 3 in 2024, and I think we will get one as well, because the team have not exactly been shy about telling us, don't you worry, we're going to get a Wave 3 for X-Men. And there's rumours out there of what it is as well already, so I'm sure you've already seen it. But let me throw this image on screen real quick as we recap these. So I'm all in. I've actually rebrought everything and kept it on card. And another shout out for Star Action Figures. Do you know these cards that have a deeper...
Bishop does, doesn't he? Yeah,
yes. So Star Action Figures have actually released deeper cases. So look at this. Bishop in a protective case. So, shout out Star Action. Have I still got their page up here? That's Hasbro. There's Star Action Figures. Yeah, so if you go to Star Action Figures and you want to get some protective cases, go up to their display cases, go to their premium foldable display cases, and they have got tons of stuff for not just Marvel Legends, loads of stuff, but they have literally just posted and they've used Venom as a picture because of course it fits for Venom, and they've got these new like thicker, deeper display cases. So shout out Craig, Stock Nostalgic Collection. I know he wanted one for Bishop. Well, I can confirm for you, Craig, that this display case, £2.50 by the way, which is a bargain compared to some alternatives out there on the internet. But yes, so and it also works for everybody's favourite Dan Who Blue Beast. Of course it does. Dan Who Blue Beast, a little bit thicker on the old orange card. So if you want the deeper protective cases, get yourself to Star Action Figures. Again, £2.50 is a bloody... Look at that. Everyone needs a Dan Who Blue Beast in their life.
It's my one representation of the X-Men card. I went for the Dan Who Blue Beast.
So, yeah, the deeper card also works for Madeline Pryor, who has the bigger card, and also Magneto, who has the big cape. So if you are like me, trying to rebuy these and keep them nice on card, then these cases will work for those thicker characters. So again, shout out Star Action Figures. But okay, so we can talk about X-Men 97 all day long, but let's jump through this wave. I'm going to say my favourite was Madeline Pryor, because we never had any representation of the Goblin Queen, and I quite liked her little arc in the show. I do think they could have made that Inferno storyline drag out a little bit more rather than it being condensed to one episode, but it's still nice to see it represented on the show. So I'm going to go Madeline Pryor first, and then second, I do like the Pinless Nightcrawler, but I'm going to say the Jim Lee Cyclops, because it's essentially the Cyclops I wanted without the cell shading. Granted, the head could do with a bit of an improvement, but it is an animated inspired head, so I can't be mad at that. So yeah, I'm going to say Madeline, and then her love, Cyclops, as my 1 and 2. What about you?
I'm definitely, now I've literally again unboxed them an hour ago, Nightcrawler would be the one for me. Those head sculpt look fantastic. So they're very fresh in my mind. So definitely into Nightcrawler as number 1. And I'll go for number 2. The only figure I actually pre-ordered, because she was a gap in the collection, was Madeline Pryor, the Goblin Queen herself. The rest were all my rapid backtracking, because as soon as they announced that Sentinel, I knew I had to get these. So that is some serious marketing there from the Hasbro team, announcing that Sentinel just in time to get these figures before they were completely gone.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm completely with you. What's your 1 and 2 then? Who is it? Nightcrawler and who?
Nightcrawler and Goblin Queen.
Okay, yeah, okay. Fair game. Right, okay, let's keep going up. So we're going through, again, everyone watching or catching us late, we're talking about the best of 2024, but we are doing it in a recap sense, all right? So we're just going through everything that was released last year, or this year. I keep saying last year like we're already in the future. We're still in 2024, but we are recapping. We are reflecting on this year's releases and just talking about our favourites, because me and Jay are going to do a top 10 as a separate video on our channel. So you are basically joining us for a behind-the-scenes brainstorm as me and Jay remember what was released this year. So there's a deluxe that was released this year. It was Angel.
Dan can't talk about that one. Too many paint apps. Just move swiftly on.
Yeah, so Angel, again, shout out Trevor, 16 Shooter. I know it was one he was desperately wanted, and one that people were very happy to add to the collection. I think Dakota eventually picked it as his favourite deluxe because I took out the Hulkbuster. But again, Angel, mine, I got one of the first reviews for this, and I didn't realise in my review he was genuinely missing paint from his shoes. But don't you worry, the comments told me, the comments did not miss a beat, and every comment was like missing paint apps, missing paint apps, missing paint apps. So it has haunted me ever since. I have since went and got a new one, so I can say I have a completely painted Angel, but for a while he was missing paint apps. But anyway, Angel has had many variants of this costume. I know a lot of people like the blue skin, people like the blue versions, people want the X Factor version that doesn't have the halo on the front. So I have no doubts at some point we will get another Angel. But as one to jump out the gate as a representation of Red Angel, were you happy to get this, Jay? If you got it at all?
Yeah, I did get it. I don't like the alternate head. That's it's a weird bit of paint on the.
Yeah, it's just a bit
not a massive fan of the alternate head. I've always had a thing against Red Angel because I've had the Toy Biz one and it fell down and it scratched my Batmobile. So I've always had a thing psychologically against Angel. So I do have this one, but I can't get that out of my head. So it's not one of my favourites, but it's a pure silly toy collecting reasons. But yeah, not one of my favourites of the year. But I do like the wings. The wings are definitely a nice upgrade.
Yeah, it was completely pinless. It was on one of the newer bodies, and yeah, a good representation of Angel for the collection. And again, I'm sure we're going to get a blue skin version, a blue version entirely. An X Factor version would be great. So now those wings have been tooled up and created, I am sure, give it a bit of time and we'll get another opportunity to add a variant of Angel to the collection. Currently, this is probably right on top of Kurt K's Xmas tree, because he displays his Christmas tree with X-Men Marvel Legends, because it's an Xmas tree. Do you get it? He's a clever guy. And I bet this Angel is sat right on top of his Xmas tree. Right, so let's keep going. So we've talked about the X-Men 97 wave. We've talked about the Wolverine 2-packs. So before we get into the VHS, let's go straight to the Zabu Build-A-Figure wave, which I believe, Jay, you have just opened. So as I look for an image here of the Zabu wave, what are your thoughts of Zabu? Did you complete the whole wave?
I've got, a whole way. The Build-A-Figure, again, was completed after today's big pile of a video. The first thing I note from the Build-A-Figure, my God, was that hard to get those pieces to push in. I don't know if it's just because it's cold here today in the UK, but I couldn't get those legs in. I had to use some serious force. But now they're in. Yeah, I really like Zabu. One of my most wanted Marvel Legends for a long time. That sort of 3-pack from back in the day was always like a grail piece to me. But when I never backtracked, because I thought the figures just don't quite look right in a modern collection, especially Zabu. He was very blocky in that original version.
No,
but I knew it was like
no texture. Either. It was very smooth. He was like a shaved saber-toothed tiger with a bit of tufts of fur on him.
Yeah, it's a very weird sculpt, but it was. I just knew it was this hard to find Marvel Legends all these years. I've been collecting them, so I wanted a Zabu. So happy with him. Red Widow wasn't as bad as I thought she would be. Whether it's something I would actually say, I was going to get rid of her. I was like, oh, she can just go straight in the pile. I'll keep the Build-A-Figure piece. But I opened her. I thought, well, she doesn't move a lot because the cake's quite bulky, but the cake's quite well sculpted, so I didn't mind Red Widow as much as I thought I'd hate her. Black Winter surprised me as well. He's got a lot of hair behind there, and a cool effect on the Mjolnir as well. He's got there, so he was more surprising. So the two I wasn't interested in were actually better than I thought. Icarus, just a solid Marvel legend. Kazar was definitely needed, so happy to have him. Needed a Wolfsbane, and Cable is really good in hand as well. So quite a solid wave, I think, for the Build-A-Figure. The only thing I didn't pick up was the Iron Man, because he didn't have a Build-A-Figure piece. And if memory serves me correct, I thought that costume should be a bit more silvery than white. So I thought I'd wait on the potential re-release of him. But otherwise, definitely the best Build-A-Figure wave of the year for me. Now, we don't have a lot to choose from, but this is definitely the best Build-A-Figure wave for me of the year.
Void, Zabu, and Blackheart with a free. It's the least Build-A-Figure waves we have got in a calendar year for Marvel Legends for probably about a decade. So it's crazy. So that's why a lot of people were worried that the Build-A-Figure was dying out. But Marvel Legends are like Build-A-Figures. It's in its DNA. So I always think the Build-A-Figure wave will be a staple of Marvel Legends, and it will be moving forward. Like 2025, we already know what the first Build-A-Figure wave is going to be. It's Genocide, aka Nemesis. Do you know? So
that looks good.
Yeah,
that looks so
exactly.
good.
So there's definitely still a place for Build-A-Figure waves within the Marvel Legends line in general. But yes, this year we only had 3, which is definitely the lowest we have had in recent time. But this wave itself, like usually the Build-A-Figure waves are themed, as in like we can clearly say it's an X-Men wave, it's a Strange Tales wave, it's themed. This wasn't hard to sort of pinpoint what it was. Like, is it an X-Men wave? But it isn't, because then it's got a bit of cosmic in there as well. Like, it was definitely an odd mix of characters, but all characters worthy of finding their place in the collection. Of course, you needed Kazar to go along with Zabu. That's probably the best pairing within the set. It would have been great to get Shana the She-Devil in this wave as well. Like, imagine if we got Shana instead of Red Widow. Like, this wave would have instantly been more desirable than it already is for some. But we did get some key characters we needed. Wolfsbane was a big gap in the collection for a lot of people that we finally got. Everyone loves that version of Cable. We're dubbing it the Capcom Cable, even though Hasbro have never technically said the words Capcom. We all know what it is in reference to.
I don't think they ever will.
No, I don't think they're allowed to. And like you said, that Black Winter, I know it's just reuse of Herald of Galactic Thor. Like, I know it's just reuse. But to be fair to Hasbro, it's clever reuse, because you ain't going to have any other reuse from that Thor apart from this version, because Black Winter, the character, is like a big cosmic space entity cloud that even Galactus is scared of. Do you know? So he basically takes on the form of Thor within the comic book pages. So there are absolutely clear comic book panels where you have this shadowy sort of winterish Black Winter version of Thor. So the figure, the Marvel Legend, again, you may not be familiar with the character and you may not like the reuse, which is absolutely fair game, but again, looking at it outside in subjectively, it's a solid representation of the comic panels it is trying to recreate, and it's quite an awkward one as well. Like you said, the hair in the actual pages is a bit cosmic and it sort of disappears and fades off. So yeah, and the Herald of Galactus 4 was decent, but I agree, it's not the most exciting of characters, but it is a sneaky way to represent the Black Winter in a display. And then Iron Man's Iron Man, you can have him in any collection. And Red Widow, like, we always say I like learning via the medium of action figures, so I tried to do some research on Red Widow, but it's still hard to even know anything about Red Widow. Like, I genuinely tried to learn about her, and she's part of the Winter Guard, sort of the Russian Avengers, but even in the comics her identity has not been revealed. Obviously we know she's part of she was born from the Red Room, she's Red Widow, but no one knows who she is. She's not appeared too much within the comics. She's never had her own solo story, so it was really difficult to even learn about her, which is frustrating. So I thought this was one of those characters that Hasbro had probably been told to make by Marvel because she was going to be significant in some form. Maybe we are going to see some type of incarnation of Red Widow during Thunderbolts, and we don't even know about it yet. You know, who knows? But for some reason, Hasbro made a Red Widow, and we don't know why, but it's still a brand new character to add to the line. But let's be honest, that space should have been Shana, the She-Devil. So time will tell. But overall, let's pick our favourite and runner-up of this wave. Oh, I didn't mention. I didn't mention the Eternal there, Icarus. How long is it going to take to complete the Eternals in Marvel Legends form? That's what
there we go. One.
Yeah, we're off. Yeah, we'll come back around and talk about him again in 10 years' time. He looks great for that sort of Jack Kirby inspired sort of modern version of the Eternals, but yeah, like, unless we get a box set, he's going to be quite lonely on the cosmic shelf for a while. Anyway, let's talk about our favourites. I think this one's easy for me. As much as I like to complete teams, and I really wanted a version of Wolfsbane, I never had that box set that you were referring to earlier with the Savage Land. So I'm going to say my favourites are Zabu the Builder figure and then Kazar to accompany him are the two I wanted the most out of this wave. So what about yourself?
I'm going to say Zabu and Kazar because I never had that box set. So yeah, we're going to say exactly the same thing there because they're definitely the most wanted. The most surprising figure though for me would be that Black Winter, that head sculpt and the translucent cape. Definitely a surprise for a character I wasn't too familiar with, but the Kazar and Zabu definitely.
Loston says Black Winter went straight in the bin in my house, Dan. Sorry, Dan. You don't have to apologise. I'm just trying to. Sometimes I try and speak subjectively rather than my own opinion. My own opinion is I don't give a flying fuck about the character either. But I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice and subjective. But yeah, I don't care either. But I was trying to be nice. But yes, it's all good. Right, let's keep going. Right, let's keep scrolling up. Oh, okay, so let's talk about the VHSs. So we got 3 this year. So I haven't got a picture of the 3. Maybe I'll look for one in a second. I'll look for one as we're speaking. But we got 3. Do you know what the 3 VHSs are? Can you remind the people, Jay, where I find a picture?
We got Hydro Man and Daredevil.
Yeah.
We got Morbius and Doctor Strange. Yeah. And we've got another one, which I've forgotten.
Vulture. How did you forget Vulture?
I've forgotten my favourite one. What an idiot. Live on the internet. The camera's on. I've forgotten my favourite figure of the year nearly. Vulture. And, of course, Peter Parker with the little mask in his hand. So 3 very solid ones indeed this year. As I've said every time I come on the channel, I absolutely love Spider-Man, the animated series. I've just done a separate display, pulling them out, keeping them all close together. I've now started an eBay watch list on a classic Spider Slayer to see if anybody lists a complete one, because I want to stick one of those in the collection. They're about 10 inches, so I think they'd actually scale okay within the display. But Vulture, the figure I'd completely forgotten, Oh, that is one of my most wanted figures ever. The young version of Vulture there with the hair. That was one of the figures I had as a kid. You'd squeeze his legs and his arms would flap. So any long-time viewers of the channel, of course, when Dan was doing the live stream from the Hasbro Pulse event, we were sat on a sofa. I was squeezing the legs. We were having a lovely time there on the road trip of this year's live stream, playing with the Vulture. I was obviously completely forgot about it when we're live on YouTube, but yeah, well, that's fantastic. And Morbius, those years ago when they teased Morlan with the little dots in the hand, I first thought that was going to be Morbius, got very excited,
Plasma.
and turns out it wasn't. But Plasma is finally here. We couldn't have blood for Fox Kids, so we had some Plasma. So he was hand-sucking Plasma. Oh, well, I love the design of Morbius. Doctor Strange, not particularly bothered, but he was more purple in the show, so that's fine. And Hydro Man, what has he done? The poor Mary Jane. It's 30 years later, and I still don't know. So essential for the collection. And Daredevil, the shading works really well, in my opinion, and you get some really cool looks. So this might be tipping with the Wolverine sets as the program of the year for me. I think the VHSs, and then Chameleon to top us off at the end of the year. Quite a solid year for the animated series.
Yeah, so the VHS lines were born via the non-plastic packaging era, but they did continue for a while after. And I learned to appreciate the gimmick for what it was. And last year, all the figures on the bottom row of this image were the ones that came out last year, with Peter Parker and Smythe being one of my favourite sets. Again, to be fair, I loved all the sets from last year. But this year, they continued the Spider-Man VHS line, and we got 3 more. So that is the complete VHS Spider-Man animated series collection on screen. They have confirmed, at least for the foreseeable future, it may make a return at some point, but at least for I reckon 25 and 26, it is not in the plans to return, but we will still get animated characters on the retro card, Chameleon being an example of that. So yeah, for right now, I quite like the idea of this being a complete collection. Like, if you get these 7 sets, that's a collection in itself, like a sub collection of the Marvel Legends line. So right now on eBay, that Daredevil and Hydro Man 2-pack is going for over £100. It is crazy. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, because Daredevil, I reckon people really want Daredevil single pack. Last time we got him was in that 3-pack with Bullseye and Elektra. So the second opportunity to get that version of Daredevil. Granted, he had the added cell shading, but that is comic accurate as well as animated accurate. Very Frank Miller-esque. So I think a lot of people wanted to get that set for Daredevil, and it clearly is still desirable because it is going for a pretty penny on the aftermarket. I really like Hydro Man as well, because that's Hydro Man represented in plastic. He is completely translucent water, so I didn't mind that set either. Again, Doctor Strange wasn't in that many episodes of the animated series, so I don't think he granted a place in this line as much as others. Like, I reckon if we had got, do you know, in the bottom row there, Jay, we've got civilian versions of Mary Jane, Aunt May, Peter Parker. If we had got a civilian version of Felicia Hardy packed in with Morbius instead of Doctor Strange, I reckon that would have made a lot more sense, because she was Black Cat in the show, who we already have on a retro card, and she was going out with Michael Morbius in the show as well. So I reckon Felicia Hardy with her pink skirt and white shirt, blonde hair, would have been a much better civilian character.
She can wait. I want Deborah Whitman. Come on, let's go even deeper.
I guess that is deeper, yeah, for sure. But then the Vulture and Spider-Man to finish off. Of course, you couldn't do a Spider-Man VHS line without at least putting a Spider-Man in there. Yes, we had an animated symbiote version at the start, but they needed to end it with a Spider-Man, and we got that Peter Parker unmasked head again, which is great, by the way. It's a solid Peter Parker head that accurately represents that animated show. And we got the mask, Jay. One of my favourite accessories of 2024 was this tiny piece of plastic. I have wanted a Peter Parker on my shelf just to stand there and hold a mask. Simple things in life. I just wanted Peter Parker to take his mask off and then stand there on my display holding his mask, revealing himself. Finally, Jay, we got it. That little piece of plastic. So, yeah, Vulture again, very animated, accurate. And we got both heads, young head and old head, whole Tablet of Time storyline. So, yeah, I agree. I think this is a solid...
the one thing we didn't get was the actual Tablet of Time. I would have liked an accessory of the Tablet of Time. I'm sure somebody will 3D print one.
Yeah,
there,
Dante did. Shout out Dante from the Infinity Equation. He actually printed me one and sent me one like a year ago, like years ago. So I've actually got one in the collection. But yeah, so okay, so out of those 3 sets then, Jay, instead of picking characters, just pick a set. Which was the best 2-pack for you? If you could only get one of those 2-packs from the top row, we're only talking about 2024. What was the best VHS 2-pack from 2025? 24, sorry.
So I love the villain in each one of the 2-packs. So Vulture's my favourite villain. I say I have to go Vulture and Spider-Man. I think I'm going to have to go Vulture and Spider-Man.
Had to. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with you, by the way. If you're going to have a VHS Spider-Man line, you need a Spider-Man in it. And we got the unmasked head. We got the little mask piece. Again, tiny little accessories that make a difference. They give you display options. And I always say it with me, options are a good thing, all right? So, yeah, that's a new catchphrase I'm trying to catch on. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, that is the end of the VHS. Will we get more VHS cards in 2025? Who knows? Are they going to change the theme? Are the Xmen VHS cards coming back? Probably not. Just spoiler alert, probably not. With the animated Xmen card backs, a thing, like with these happening, I don't think we're going to get Xmen VHS and these in the same year. So I don't think we're going to get Spider-Man or Xmen VHS. I reckon they may put VHS in general on hold for a little bit and try something else.
Yeah, I think the VHS program was born out of the plastic 3 era because they tried to pivot to something that didn't use the plastic. So then now they can just use the retro card. You just carry on the Spider-Man line, I think, on the retro card is all you do, which they're showing with Chameleon, and hopefully some more to come. I think Mysterio might be on the leak list for next year. That might be a potential
for a Man Spider as well, Jay. I know you really want it.
Yeah. Oh, I do want a Man Spider. I'd love well, what I really want now is an animated, accurate Hobgoblin head. They've done Hobgoblin on the card, but the head's not animated accurate enough for me. So hopefully something like that is in the future.
Yeah, when they first started doing the tribute packaging, it was nothing but a tribute to the packaging. It was as simple as that. The characters we got on the cards weren't animated accurate. It was just a tribute. But as the lines got on, the figures are getting more accurate to the animated show. So yeah, I agree. There are plenty of characters that I wouldn't be mad at a second go around if they were more accurate to the actual show. I agree. Right, let's keep going through. So we've done Zabu, we've done the VHS. So just a quick note on that Captain America, that deluxe Captain America with the wings, that was meant to come out at the same time of the Captain America movie that got delayed. So the Shield 3-pack and the Artem Zola 2-pack with the new version of Baron Zemo, if you look at them, they're on the old packaging. Do you know the packaging with the window with the slanted sides? Most things we have gotten this year have been in the new box style packaging, but you'll notice that the Shield pack and the Baron Zemo 2-pack were all with the slanted packaging because they were carryovers for the new movie that eventually got delayed. But because these figures were basically not associated with the movie, these were allowed to be released. So we got Captain America Deluxe, Baron Zemo, and the Shield pack, which are somewhere else here. We also got that Secret Empire Captain America at the start of the year.
God, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was another one that got revealed earlier in the year. I think we revealed it we had one of the first samples at Inderman Toys, if I remember correctly. Again, it still bugs me that the shield doesn't come apart, because in the actual story, his shield comes apart and it turns into like a dagger thing, which I really like. But anyway, so there was a couple of Captain America sets. Did you get any of them, Jay? Those sets I'm referring to, those 4 sets?
Yeah, I've got the cap you've just shown there, which I completely forgot about. It was so long ago. We didn't get a UK release, I don't think, of the Sam with the wings. So
did not know.
I've got the original version, so I didn't bother with that. I did get the Shield 3-pack though.
There it is,
I can shout out the new packaging though, because as a man that stacks action figures, the new packaging stacks lovely. This stuff kept making my pile fall over because it's all curved and slanted. So I do prefer. There probably is why they've done it, isn't it? Packing the case is much easier. So
it's 100% a shipping logistical thing. Yeah.
So this is a great. So this comes with a lot of accessories I've just discovered again about an hour and a half ago, because there's a separate tray behind with loads more accessories in. So you get an absolute ton of accessories with this set. So yeah, quite impressed with this one. Yeah,
this was Dum Dum Duggan. We only really had an interchangeable head for in the Toy Biz days, and then this I like that we got a new Nick Fury head, but also a Nick Fury Jr. head as well. And then we got Sharon Carter, a couple of heads for her, Agent 13. I know a lot of people are a little bit bit disappointed to see that they went with the design that had the bare shoulders, which is from one very particular story. But I think that's their way of showing you that this is an individual character, Sharon Carter, rather than just allowing you to swap the head on any female. Do you know, like, they're trying to make it more individual and personalized to Sharon Carter, I think. So, but anyway, a great free pack. It currently went on sale in In-Demand Toys for 25 quid, by the way. Absolute bargain. I'm not sure if it's still in stock, but 25 quid In-Demand Toys for everything you get here. Free, completely pinless, really articulated figures with lots of accessories, interchangeable parts and pieces. Great army building pack. We've got Army Builder Shield agents already, so these are nice accompanying pieces. We got the Captain America sort of Steve Rogers last year as well, didn't we? The sort of Shield Steve Rogers. So plenty of army building opportunity for these. So yeah, solid free pack, sorry, for this. And I also like the Artem Zola, that even though it was basically a reissue of the Builder figure from like the Return of Marvel Legends from 2012.
Yeah, I sold that years ago. It's how long ago that was.
I never completed it. I never had all the pieces. So I was and I always wanted the orange version of Artem Zola, because I got do you know when they did the 2-pack with the green, and they did the it was the Hydra Captain America 2-pack.
Hydra, yeah.
So I had that version of Artem Zola on the shelf, but this is the one I wanted, and they upgraded the chest piece to be a bit more comic accurate as well. So yeah, I quite like this. So I wasn't mad at getting this again.
Yeah, it was a set. I got it on day one, I think, from Amazon.
I think it was Amazon.
When that one came out.
So yeah, all the Captain America stuff, as you can see, this was all meant to be released at the same time as the Captain America movie that inevitably got delayed a whole year. But if you got them, they're still great additions to the collection. As I said, that's Daddy's emo essentially, so you can pose both of the emos together if you really wanted to. I like the creepy unmasked head as well. I always like that
tribute to the Toy Biz figure, isn't it? I think really that unmasked head there,
I always like that in the story. The reason he wears that mask is because it got glued onto his face with this like weird toxic glue or something. So stupid. But there you go.
Watch out for that toxic glue in the 1930s.
It had a name. So what's the name of that glue that stuck to his face? It was like Agent X or Glue X or something. I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, lots of Captain America stuff. Right. What shall we talk about? Shall we jump into the summer program before we get into all the bits and bobs? Okay, let's jump to the summer program, because there's 10 items right there. I think I made a separate image for this. Yes, I did. There it is. Right. Jay, before we dive into this, just a yes or no, right? Yes or no, and then we will dive into the details. Is this the best Marvel Legends summer program to date? Same question for the chat. Yes or no? Is this the best summer program to date? Don't overthink it. We will dive into it, but just quite simply, yes or no. Is this the best Marvel Legends summer program to date?
No.
Oh, controversial. I'm going to say yes. I think it is. Look, like, as much as it is, like, basically every single character on screen, in some form, we already had in our collection. We already had a plastic representation of every single one of these characters on the shelf, right? But every single one of these is undoubtedly an upgrade, an improvement, like a better version. Like, I think this way is solid. There's no misses. What's a miss? Name me the shit figure out of this lineup. There is not one. Every other summer program, you can probably pick a couple of duds. There are no duds in this summer program. Everything is worthy of its place in the collection. You can knock off all the old versions of these characters and replace them with these, and it is an upgrade. Why are you saying no, Jay?
I haven't bought all of them when I've bought all the other figures in the previous summer program.
But is that just a money-saving thing, though? Is that just because your collecting habits have changed?
That's because I had to try and think, so I don't know now. I'm thinking about it. So last year's program, it was Avengers Earth Mightiest.
Yep.
I know it went on a sale everywhere, but I definitely bought every single item. You love that
Super Adaptoid as well. That was one of your favourites.
Okay, I tell a lie. I didn't. That's the one I didn't buy. I didn't buy Super Adaptoid. Exactly. So there was but the rest I did buy, whereas I haven't bought all of these. But it is a very, very solid wave. I was just trying to think. I have to go mathematically. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking a simple question here, but definitely some of these are extremely good figures.
Look, there's definitely a conversation or a topic to there. The strong collectors are taking note of this because they're going to do a tier list of all the summer programs next, and I allow it because it's worthy of conversation. A lot of people in the chat are also saying no. Not a lot. Not. It's a bit 50-50 to be fair, but again, it's a good conversation to have because it depends on people's collecting preferences. But the one before was the Avengers 60th, like you said. The one before that was Spider-Man. He had like a whole summer program, and then we had the Infinity Saga. We've also had the Marvel Studios 10th anniversary. We had the Xmen / Deadpool summer program as well. If you remember, we had those X-Men 2-packs with the first movie Deadpool 2-packs. But again, I think lining them all up, as much as I like most of the summer programs, like I genuinely do, I just think this is the best one. Let me just read some of these comments, Jay. Let's see if the chat still awake with us. Let me scroll up a little bit. Damien says yes. Miguel has the flaming hot emoji head, so I'm assuming he agrees. Cool Caves says yes. Chris says yes. Kev's Collectible says yes. Mike Heck says it's okay, needs more Spidey, but that's biased. He has a bit of Spidey bias, so I understand. Keanu says yes. Loston says one of the best. Warbird, Ghost Rider, Odin, Venom, and Wolverine plus the Doom 3-pack make it so. So there you go. He's named half the figures in the bloody wave. Robert politely says, sorry, Dan, no. Why, Robert? Why? What's name me again? If you're saying no, that's fair game. It's your opinion, but tell me which one's better. Again, you're allowed your opinion. I'm just curious. If you're saying this isn't the best summer program, what is, in your opinion? I'm curious. Let me know. Miguel says yes because we got the Warbird. Mike says Scar. Oh, Mike, Cull are both saying that Scar was a dud, which I agree. Out of the 10. Scar's probably at the bottom of my list too, but it's still an upgrade to the previous version. I don't think anyone can dispute that. Daniel S says, I think I have to say yes, but the 80th was also amazing. They're all better engineered than ever before, so I think it's hard to argue. The 80th was another great one, but again, times have moved on. Things have got better. Damien says, my fave three are the Iron Fist set, Odin and Hulkbuster. Clev's Collectible says Scar is the least great, but it's still great, and I agree with that. Mike says I need that Iron Fist. JR says yes. Strong Collector says I don't even remember many of the other programs. They're out there to be found. Again, it was the Avengers Earth If, it was the Spider-Man, it was the X-Men and Deadpool, it was the 80th anniversary of Spider-Man. Just think, this is the 85th, not the 8th of Spider-Man, 80th of Marvel. This is the 85th anniversary of Marvel. We had a whole summer program to celebrate the 80th as well 5 years ago. And then before that, we had the 10th anniversary in 2018. We had the 10th anniversary.
That was a good one. The 10th anniversary of the MCU got me to collect MCU figures. So I didn't collect them before.
It was upgraded.
So that was another strong one. I don't collect them now, but that pulled me in for a good 6 years.
Mini Plastic Multiverse says my favourite summer program simply because I got to create a trading card for each one. So probably biased. Look, it's fair biased. Right, won't be long until the 90th program. That is crazy, isn't it? 5 years' time, in 2029, we will be celebrating Marvel's 90th anniversary.
We'll be in our mid-40s by then, son.
We're going to be old, ain't we? Going to be old.
Get your cup of tea out.
My tea's already out.
I'll come round for a bicky.
I know, yeah. Eventually, you're going to see the decline of Koppelberg and more kettles and tea on this channel. Okay, let's talk about the summer program. So we could do a whole stream dissecting this, and I'm sure we have. So instead of going through each one, Jay, just give us some highlights of the summer program for you.
You've done this perfectly for me without realising, because I love the top half of your image and I have no interest in the bottom half.
Okay.
So that's why I was mixed. I don't like that. I know the Hulkbuster is a really bulky, good-looking figure. I just don't like that design of it. I prefer the 90s design of it. Scar, yes, I have absolutely no interest in Scar at all. Odin, I think, is too big compared to Thor. And Venom, I pretty much already have that figure because it's just repacked on the retro card. So I don't have any interest in the bottom four. But the top six, I absolutely love. Danny Ketch was essential. The Doctor Doom, until I opened it, I completely forgot it had a soft goods cape. Completely forgot until I opened it. I went, hold on a minute, this has got a soft goods cape. So that was fantastic. The Norman Osborn Iron Patriot is great. I was like, where's his mask? But it was behind him in a separate tray. So I was like, okay, that's a really cool figure. Taskmaster's an upgrade. Luke Cage and Iron Fist was a really early purchase. I love the eye lenses on Spider-Man. I think that's a cool bit of innovation. And Wolverine, we needed the Astonishing version upgraded from, I used to have the Toy Biz one. It was a tiny little figure. So the top half of that image, fantastic figure, but I don't like the bottom half.
A bit of Dan Who trivia for you in the chat. I see you can be the first one to answer this question correctly. One of these items was the most viewed Marvel Legend review on my channel this year. Which one of these sets was the most viewed Marvel Legend review on my channel this year? Okay, so one of these was the most viewed Marvel Legend review on my channel. What was it? It's made it into the top 5. I always think the sign of a good channel is where every year you can get a video cracking your top 5 or top 10. Do you know? Because it shows that there's still a consistent audience. If your channel's like got the same videos in for years, it shows that maybe the best years are behind you, if you will. So I like it when a new video can crack the top list. And one of these did.
He's telling me that live on air. Goodness me! But luckily that has happened this year. So some of those trips we've done have gone very well. Yeah, I do know which one it is. As a clue for the chat. I had to give him one of the figures, do the comparison in it.
I did. I still have the figure you give me the comparison for as well, to be fair.
Keep it, son. It's terrible.
People are just exposing themselves that they don't watch my channel because people are talking about figures I haven't even reviewed. I never reviewed Ghost Rider, sorry. Never did it. Never reviewed Ghost Rider. It's Superior Spider-Man. Superior Spider-Man got the most. It got like, what, 60k or something like that? Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a bounce back. Let's go to my most popular videos. There he is. Is technically my 5th most popular video on the channel with nearly 50,000 views. So again, I'm a small fish in the grand scheme of toy tubers, so I'll take that all day long.
Poor Spider-Ham, he was doing so well.
How is look, the most unarticulated shittest Marvel Legend ever has ironically got 42,000 views. It makes no sense. Hulkbuster's close though. Look, Hulkbuster's there. He's creeping up. He's creeping up. I didn't realise he was creeping up, actually. But yeah, Hulkbuster's close. But Superior Spider-Man, yeah, is my most viewed. Just a random bit of Dan Who trivia for you. Okay, so my favourites in this wave is the opposite to Jay. I love that Hulkbuster. Love it. I love Iron Man.
I know you do. I know you're very keen on it.
Yeah, love it. So, but I love it. I genuinely like everything in this wave. Everything. Even the Odin. Odin's one of those figures that when it was revealed, I was like, yeah, it's not my mind's eye of Odin, and like Asgardian world isn't my favourite section of my collection. I'll get it when I get it. I got it. I opened it, and it is really impressive. Like, I liked it more than I thought I was going to, and that is absolutely going to be the centerpiece of my sort of Asgardian display. So, the only one I haven't opened yet is Scar. So it shows you how much I care about that. So I own it, but I just haven't opened it yet. Everything else I've opened, played with. I never managed to review everything because that damn MCU collector got there way before me, and there was genuinely no point in reviewing stuff. I think even Kenny in Counter Culture got some stuff before me. You bastard, Kenny. No, Kenny's my friend, really. It's fine.
Best voice on YouTube, Kenny.
He has genuinely got the best voice on YouTube, 100%. But I want Kenny to read me bad news. Do you know, like, if I ever get bad news, I want Kenny to be the one to read it to me, just to soothe me. Daniel.
Terrible taste in Superman figures, though. Yes.
Yeah, if they're green, he wants them. So my favourites in this wave are going to be, I'm going to say, Hulkbuster 1, runner-up the Cabal 3-pack, because I just love all 3 of those characters and their upgrades to what we currently had. Absolutely. But I love Ghost Rider as well. But I think out of all my favourite Ghost Rider is still Johnny Blaze. So, yeah, that's probably why. But anyway, great. I love it. Summer Programme. Solid piece. Kevin says, Star Action figures still haven't shipped my Odin yet. Well, he should have shipped a while ago. I'd give him a little message. I'd definitely give him a message. All right, let's go back to our list. What else can we talk about? Right, so we've talked about the VHS, we've talked about Xmen, Summer Programme. The Legacy figures, let's be honest, we don't need to discuss them. That was just to tie us over until the new Deadpool figures made it, which genuinely arrived today. That's how when did this film come out, Jay? July?
Yeah, and you've had that figure for about an hour.
Yeah, and this arrived as I was going live. The dog was barking, and I had to literally run downstairs and get the door, and this wave got delivered to me today. The film came out in July. That is definitely the unfortunate thing about Marvel Legends sometimes. I know it's not always Hasbro's fault, because it depends on timing, and Disney are really tight with their secrets, but it is pretty... I definitely would have been more excited to own these in July than I do in December, but they're still fine figures. But yeah, so let's be honest, these legacy figures were just re-releases to tie us over, because Hasbro probably were well aware we weren't getting these anytime near the movie. Did you get any of their legacy stuff?
No, I have gone completely cold turkey on the MCU. It's been replaced with Hot Toys and Lego.
That's fair
So
enough.
there is MCU representation somewhere, but I'm trying not to do it in Legends.
Let's go to a couple more retro cards. So this is what gives me hope for who is it that's meant to come out next year? I keep saying Mephisto. Mysterio.
Mysterio.
Yeah. So a couple of exclusives last year were. So these weren't a part of any wave. These were exclusives to, I think, Target and Walmart. Target, of course, is the Red Carnage, and Prowler was Walmart. But in the UK, they were not exclusive anywhere. So again, I genuinely do hope that Hasbro continue this next year, where we get a wave of Spider-Man figures. Great, happy days. But throughout the year, they just give us an extra one or two. I've still got room, Jay. There's still gappage, even with that new wave. So yeah, I hope that next year we still get a couple more characters. I still want a Peter Parker. Like, I'm probably not going to hammer home this as much as I did Chameleon. Chameleon was a big gap, I think. But I think now we've got that unmasked Peter Parker head. I think we need a Peter Parker in your favourite shirt with the striped shirt on this card back. I think because the first Peter Parker we got wasn't really animated accurate. So if you're going to do an animated accurate Peter Parker, do that. But anyway, we got Prowler, who was animated accurate, and then we got a re-release of the Absolute Carnage version, right? I believe it was Absolute Carnage.
The textured version, isn't it?
It's a good version, and it came with some new accessories.
With some extra accessories, yeah.
Did you get both of these?
I got the Prowler, yes, got the Prowler. I didn't bother with the Carnage because I've got the one in the VHS pack, and texture didn't really go in the animated display, so I didn't really bother with the Carnage.
I agree, by the way. My textured Carnage is with my comic, my flat animated cel shaded Carnage is with my animated display, so I'm completely with you on that one. But another opportunity to get Carnage. Again, remember, if you open these up, it doesn't matter what packaging they're in. You can put them where the hell you want. So those two came out. What else came out? So let's talk about this real quick. So let's talk about this and Giant Man together, okay? Let's talk about this and Giant Man together. So Giant Man technically was a 2024 pre-order, HasLab, you know the concept, but it arrived this year, and I think it's epic. I genuinely think Giant Man is beautiful. Here he is. Now, we're not going to ignore the fact that he did arrive and he needed an optician's appointment. He was a little bit cross-eyed, but Hasbro are hopefully making that right. So, again, I don't want to drone on about it too much, but it should have arrived better, if you know what I mean. It shouldn't have been arrived with that issue. But taking that away, it is a solid Marvel Legend. I never had the Toy Biz Builder figure. It was quite difficult to build in the UK. I never got it done. I ended up selling my pieces and just moved on. It was always a pretty penny on the aftermarket. But this, I don't think anyone can dispute. You may be sentimental about the old Toy Biz one, and that's absolutely fair. But I don't think anyone can dispute this isn't a better representation and aesthetically appealing version of Giant Man for your overall Marvel Legends collection. This is a beautiful Marvel Legend, and if you didn't back it, you definitely have FOMO now, because it's really, really good. And this 2-pack on screen, beautiful complementary piece. We got a 6-inch version of Hank Pym in this exact costume for the display, with a Wasp from the first Avengers appearance. 2 original founding members of the Avengers you needed in your display. Again, this and that 2-pack on screen, beautiful. If you're an Avengers Marvel Legends fan, you absolutely need them. Jay, did you also get them?
I did also get them. I've already received my pair of straightforward eyes as well, so they have started to arrive.
So
it's
that's
been a few
good.
Weeks actually.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Jay, for a second, because you're right. So Hasbro said if you contact customer services, they would send you the eyes, but it seems like they had a couple early, because so just to confirm, Jay has already been sent his straight eyes. He has the replacement eyes. Were they actually straight? Did they make a difference?
They are, yes, they are. They are straight eyes. I haven't put them on the normal heads yet. I've put them on the alternate heads, but they definitely look straightforward, so they do the job. They were quite quick, and unlike our friends at NECA, they didn't try to charge me for the extra eyes at least. Yeah. So that was a bonus. But yeah, Giant Man is a great piece. I like the fact, one simple thing they added in was the fact that they put the white antenna in as opposed to the black antenna, because I wanted to display it like the Toy Biz figure I never had. So that was a nice touch for me. And he stands quite well front and centre of display. He's got Janet on his shoulder. He's having a lovely time at the front there.
Literally stands, no problem. I think all the joints, it's like a it's like a massive Marvel legend, pinless, great articulation. I genuinely had no issues with mine, apart from the eyes, obviously, which everybody had issues with. Other than that, no issues at all. Love it. Yeah, great figure, great texture on it, great paint. And there's so much more detail on this in person that doesn't really come across when you look at images online.
Shading in the texture, isn't there? That looks nice when you see it actually in person there. But I suppose that my end over the years, I might go on the rarest Marvel Legends pieces because it only got about 13 and a bit thousand, didn't it, in terms of backers? So
it was basically nearly a third of what Galactus got done, and you can still buy Galactus at about just over retail now. But yeah, I reckon Giant Man, a lot of people last year, and rightly so, had a bad taste in their mouth with the whole HasLab concept because of the whole Engine of Vengeance thing. So I think a lot of people last year went, I don't want to support this concept, which is fair enough. Everyone can make their own decision about that. But for me, I'm never really, like, just again, speaking for myself, I'm never really thinking about the company. I'm never really thinking about, am I supporting Hasbro or not? I'm just very selfish, and I'm thinking, I want a Marvel display. I want to add this plastic universe of characters to my shelf, and I wanted a Giant Man. So I'm going to, if that's the way to buy it, that's the format to buy it, I was always going to be in. But I do think a lot of people this year, as it arrived in people's hands, maybe have a slight bit of FOMO that they probably should have backtracked. Because it is all these same people that didn't buy it at the HasLab are the same, probably, like, not everybody, but a portion of them are the people that are now paying double the price on eBay, which is just stupid. So if you want something, just get it, people, all right? Just doesn't need to be so difficult. It's toys. We're all adults. Spend your money how you wish. YouTube doesn't have to go on a craze every time there's a bloody HasLab. If you want it, get it. If you don't want it, it's fine. It's okay. Talk about it if you want. That's okay as well. But Giant Man is great. Giant Man is great. Let's go back to this. Any thoughts on that, Jay, before we move on?
Well, the HasLab concept, yeah. As I said, I'm the same as you. I just want my toys. So I do I have enough of politics and things in my day job throughout the work. So toys is my hobby, the relaxation. I think some of us do take it a little bit too seriously at times.
This channel was built on just passionate, wanting to share my hobby with good people. I'm not here for the controversy. I don't work for any of these companies. I don't care if you hate them or not. I don't care. I don't care. I just want to build a plastic Marvel universe on the shelf. But luckily for us, I think Hasbro do a good job. But that's just my opinion. In regards to the figures, at least, politics and company structure is a different story. Not talking about that. Just talking about toys.
I collect McFarlane, people. I collect McFarlane. We'll move on.
Let's talk about NECA. Let's distract them with NECA stuff. NECA's shit as well, everyone. Right, let's talk about... we're approaching the end now of 2024. And this was the last Build-A-Figure wave of the year. Relatively new for us. We only got it in sort of October, November time. But it is the Blackheart Build-A-Figure. So close to getting his daddy Mephisto in the line, but not to be. Wasn't to be, but we did get this Strange Tale wave. I honestly think it's a solid wave. I do think they played it a little bit safe with the Strange Tales name. I do think they could have went a little bit deeper into the Strange Tale lore, because a lot of these characters are not really associated with Strange Tales. They're just sort of darker, inspired characters. Do you know, like they're just a bit more cryptic on the sort of
weird marketing on this one. And,
so
and one of the figures we'll get to on the Iron Man retro wave as well. There's a bit of a weird bit of marketing this year.
Yeah, so Strange Tales, just again, as we wrap up, we'll try and speed through some of these now. I didn't realise the time. Strange Tales, what are your thoughts and what are your favourites?
To me, I'm afraid I'm going to shit all over this one. I do not like this wave at all. The only thing the only character I wanted was Lilith, so I've bought Lilith. I like that version of Dracula. I think that's kind of a cool figure, so I wouldn't mind getting Dracula. But I've already got a version of Brother Voodoo. I've got a Moon Knight. I've no interest in Wolverine. I don't know who Bloodstorm is, and I don't like that outfit for Damon Hellstrom. So, but I do like is the Build-A-Figure. So I do want the Build-A-Figure and the other two figures, but the rest of it, I'm afraid this is going to have to be a sale job for me. So I'm hoping it gets a bit discounted.
Yeah, maybe so. It is relatively new. Again, reviews on my channel for most of them, not all of them. But I think there's something to like about all the figures in this wave. Definitely like adding new characters to the shelf. But even like Brother Voodoo is a massive upgrade. And not maybe massive is a bit excessive, but it's still an upgrade to the one we previously had. So it's definitely worthy of a space on the shelf, I think. But the main event for me was Blackheart. Like, let's be honest, that's what Build-A-Figures do sometimes. They make or break a wave, and I do think Blackheart being the Build-A-Figure definitely was the cherry on top for this wave. It's the one that made probably people think, well, okay, I'll get it because I want Blackheart. So, yeah, Blackheart for me is my favourite, and I'll follow it up with, I don't know, maybe let's say Damium and Dracula, because they're two new characters. And I like Lilith well, actually. She's quite a powerful villain that a lot of people forget about. She's sort of the big bad of the Spirits of Vengeance, I think, as well. So yeah, I'll say
so the Danny Ketch era of sort of Ghost Rider villain there.
Yeah, which we got this year as well. So again, you can already start pairing up these on the shelf with some figures we got this year as well. So yeah, so I guess you just want Blackheart as well. Blackheart and Lilith are your two favourites.
Effectively, yes.
Yes. Let's go to the Iron Man wave real quick. So again, Iron Man wave, and then I think that's about it. There are a few other little things we'll quickly skip through, but Iron Man wave is the sort of last wave we can discuss. So you picked up a lot of these on the sale, right?
I think every single one I think I've picked up discounted, apart from She-Hulk. I think I bought She-Hulk straight away because I think that's a really cool version of She-Hulk, even though she's on a Iron Man retro card, but she was getting open, so it didn't really bother me that much. But I do like this wave. Some solid Iron Man armors there. I thought, well, I'll try and wait it out, and I got very lucky in the recent In-Demand toy sale that you showed earlier, and managed to pick up all the Iron Mans at least in the sale. I think we found Count Nefaria when we were at MCM at Forbidden Planet for £10, so I didn't do too bad at all when it came to the discount on this one. But good Iron Man. I needed the gold version, I think, and having now opened it, it looks better than the silver version.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a much better looking figure. Not as swirly twirly in the plastic, so it definitely it looks nicer to me on the shelf. And Whiplash, of course, from the animated show of the 1990s. Just need his good old mate, the Mandarin, and then I'll be a very happy collector.
That was my biggest. I like this Iron Man wave. Like, I like the Iron Man concept. I like the packaging. I like everything. Like, you can give us any Iron Man character on this. Like, I like the idea. I like the idea of these waves being half Iron Man figures and then half something else. You know. But where the hell is the Mandarin? The Mandarin just made the most sense out of everything, and it never happened. We got a green skin character who is great. She is great. Potentially one of the best figures of the year. She's somewhere in this room. There she is. Like, she's probably going to be on a lot of people's top 10s this year as well. And rightly so. Great representation of She-Hulk. Not mad that we got her, but not the green skin character that probably would have made the most sense in this wave. So, yeah. And again, Avengers, let's be honest, that grey version of Mark Model 1 Iron Man was made so we could get to this version. They just give us the one you don't... They give you the one you don't want first, so they get your money twice, essentially, which is exactly what they did here. Gold Iron Man is Avengers 1 Iron Man. So this year we got Wasp, we got Iron Man. Like, you can literally you need a new Hulk head sculpt, and I think a different Thor, but essentially we're getting close to building a very accurate rendition of issue 1 Avengers in Marvel Legends form. Not quite there yet, but we're getting closer. So yeah, and I do like the Model 920, I think, as well. I think so.
Forget all the numbers.
It pairs up nicely with the
they do blend.
That Iron Man in the middle there, I think the Model 20, I think that's the one that pairs up nicely with the Hulkbuster we currently got as well. Like, I think that's the Iron Man armor he was wearing. We had a
Toy Biz version of it back in the day of in the day of Marvel Legends. I do believe I had that one. That was one of my earliest Marvel Legends I think I actually bought, and I was lucky enough at MCM to get Dwight to actually sign that one for me. So I have a signed version as well in the collection. It's kind of cool to go on the wall.
Very nice. And I love new villains as well. Count Nefaria is an Avengers villain as well, and he killed was it Warpath he killed? Or no,
it says Xmen, yeah.
He killed Thunderbird, I think. So, like, he's an X-Men and Avengers villain, like an Italian aristocrat, if you will, that give himself superpowers. And then Whiplash or Backlash, whatever you want to call him. Again, he made sense in this card back, to be fair, because he was on the original and he was in the show. So, yeah. So, I hope they do more of these. I hope we get a wave 2. Like, we've never got a wave 2 of the Fantastic Four. And that was a good few years ago now. I guess this 2025 would be a good year to get a wave 2 of the Fantastic Four with characters like Mole Man and Wizard and some of the Inhumans or something.
A Pitmaster. Yeah, we could go on for days for the Fantastic Four retro card.
I don't think we're going to get another Iron Man retro card this year in 2025, but I would like one. But I just don't see it happening yet. We shall see, though. Time will tell. Let's skim through the rest of these then, Jay, because, again, there's plenty of stuff. So anything left that we haven't spoke about that brought something you liked? Again, there's a Man-Thing there. There's some of the Into the Spider-Verse. The Into the Spider-Verse wave is a whole wave in itself, but I didn't get any of them. I probably will backtrack.
Nor did
a
I.
few. Yeah. So we'll skip that. Sorry, Into the Spider-Verse fans, but like the wave has maybe 2 desirable figures. That's all. So in Indian Spider-Man,
Love the movie.
Yeah.
Love the movie, but no, I didn't bother with the
Sentinel
figures.
2-pack. We got the Doctor Strange 2-pack, the Outriders, the Punisher 2-pack, Lockjaw and Crystal. Any of these stand out to you, Jay?
The Punisher 2-pack. We better not forget about that, because that is definitely making my top 10 list of the year.
We did it, Christopher Allen. We did it. Butterfly joints.
There he is, Punisher that can hold his accessories properly, and I really like that Bushwhacker. Those accessories are absolutely nuts. That is a character that I didn't know I wanted, but when I saw it, I was like, I want that character. That character looks a great deal of fun. So that was, again, learning through the medium of toys.
He's a priest.
So fantastic 2-pack.
Can turn his body parts into weapons, and then he's a hired mercenary who's like kills people because he thinks it's art. Like he kills them in a artful way. Like, honestly, the history of that character is very intriguing for sure. But it's all about the Punisher. Frank Castle. I'm assuming we're going to get this body with the white boots, the white gloves at some point, but I don't mind double dipping with Punisher. Absolutely fair game. I like the sort of all black stealth suit, but we will get the first appearance look as well sometime. Outriders is a good Marvel Legends 2-pack if you didn't get it. Sentinels were a good 2-pack as well for the VHS. That damn rock haunted me for half the flicking year. Literally, it was under my pillow when I stayed over at Brandon's house. I hated that bloody rock. The Lockjaw and Crystal 2-pack as well is another great pack. 2 Inhumans that we absolutely need. Again, there are rumours next year we are going to get a Black Bolt and I think a Black Bolt and Triton 2-pack, and then a Medusa and Gorgon 2-pack. So we're going to get upgrades of Black Bolt and Medusa with the missing characters we need as well. So 2025, again, I say this with a grain of salt, could be the year we complete the royal family of the Inhumans. We still need Maximus the Mad, the brother of Blackheart, but much closer than we've been in the last decade anyway.
Yeah, that'll be I've noted some notes there. Add the originals to the sale pile then, if we're going to get some upgrades next year. And I think, again, there's rumours in there about Capcom figures and things that I think could be quite interesting next year, so that could be a thingy. I think if we get a blue Venom out there, our good friend Mike Hext would lose his mind with excitement.
And can I just say as well, that Doctor Strange pack, love seeing Wong in the line, but I would have preferred a Wong and maybe an Ancient one, or no, who do we want, Jay? Forget that. We wanted a Wong and
he's setting me up here.
Doctor Strange villain that we both really want. You mentioned him a few times. Can anyone in the chat guess it? A Doctor Strange villain that we haven't had in the Marvel Legends line that Jay has absolutely mentioned on a previous stream that he wants. He even showed a comic in my face.
See, bloody Baron Mordo.
Yes!
Having a blank tonight. There was the comic's literally behind this laptop. I looked, oh yeah, you idiot, it's Baron Mordo. I've given up with him. I've completely he's out of my mind. I've lost all hope. I've forgotten the character even exists.
Lorenz said he shouted Mordo, but no one could hear him. No, we heard
all
you.
All I kept thinking was Caecilius. I don't want a Caecilius. What am I talking?
I'm just saying that too. Just think how more desirable that 2-pack would have been if we got Wong and Mordo. Or some people in the chat are saying Wong and Nightmare. That would have been good.
Oh yes, Nightmare would be good. Yeah.
But we need a Baron Mordo. Can 2025 be the year we get Baron Mordo, please? Like, let's get another Doctor Strange villain to the mix. It's crazy in my mind that we have got Clea in before Baron Mordo, like in the Legends line, like madness. But happy to see Wong. And look how many accessories are in that pack. We even got a bloody dog. We got Bats the Ghost Dog. And let's just go down to this 2-pack a minute. Look at the difference. Crazy. I am happy we got Destiny, and it is a Secret Wars version of Rogue. 2 characters I reluctantly wanted to add to the collection. And I say reluctantly is because I didn't want to give anyone more money for the lack of accessories in that pack. But I did anyway because I'm an idiot.
That pack's getting hard to find in the UK. I've been watching it. It's not on Amazon. Yeah, it's an Amazon exclusive, and it keeps popping up on Amazon EU, but it's completely unavailable on Amazon UK. So Hasbro, sort it out. I'm trying to wait because I do actually want that pack, even though it does have no accessories. So my strategy isn't working on that one.
Kev Collectible says, "Why is that dog bloody, Dan?" Look, I'm British. Everything can be bloody. Look, these are bloody Marvel Legends on a bloody YouTube stream, drinking my bloody Koppelberg. All right, it's bloody.
One of the most versatile words in the English language.
Yeah. Phoenix as well. Great great sort of deluxe pack. I hope this Phoenix, leads to a Rachel Summers. I hope that's what they made this for, is so at some point we can get to Hellhound Rachel and reuse that effect piece and give us a Rachel Summers. So, yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
I know she won some of the polls, didn't she, this year when we were surveying the most wanted Marvel Legends.
Currently, according to the people that watch this YouTube channel, Rachel Summers is the most wanted Marvel Legend in the line, based off what the community say that watch this channel. Shout out Death Headers, by the way, UK repping. Had to shout him out. Great figure. Getting harder to find again in the UK. But he is on in demand right now if you're trying to backtrack. So get them. So yeah, we probably missed a few, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. But I definitely think me and Jay going through this have definitely helped remind us what came out this year, and maybe helped to start to cobble together. Oh, we didn't even talk about Secret Wars or bloody Kang. To be fair to us, though, we don't have the Secret Wars wave yet. So it's not on our mind. Kang is great.
No.
But I don't like the heads. I like the face swapping ability, but the Kang was the wrong option because I wanted to be able to swap the heads with my previous Kang, and we can't do that. And I know David Emma Smith knows what I'm talking about. So
he does.
There's bits to like and bits to dislike about Kang.
Yeah, and that's the reason I haven't bought the pack yet, because I do want the throne, but I was like, I would rather them. I've got the other one, so if I could have swapped the heads, then I would have bought this set yet. So not the best decision on their interchangeable faces. And yeah, Secret Wars, I think for us will be a next year wave, but very excited for it. Have pre-ordered the whole wave. So there you go. You found one thing I have pre-ordered instantly.
I genuinely think if you're a Legends collector, or if you're thinking about Marvel Legends, the Secret Wars wave is a great jumping on point. Not only is it what it represents is like potentially the very first Marvel action figures. I know Mego made dolls and there are some other things out there, but I think in the mainstream, those Mattel Secret Wars figures from '84 was some of the first traditional like action figures that everyone loved at the time because of Star Wars and etc and whatever. So for what it represents, it's great anyway. The packaging is another great tribute. They included the Inlinticlia shields, but it's also full of A-list characters, which are great jumping on points for collectors. Out of the gate, if you brought this wave and this was your first set of figures, you've got an Iron Man, a Captain America, a Wolverine, a Spider-Man, and you've got Beyonder and a Titania, two brand new Marvel Legend characters. I think it's a solid wave, honestly. I'm very excited to get it. I know it's characters we already have, but they're upgrades. The first pinless Iron Man and first pinless Captain America. We've got a smiling Captain America head as well, which is great for display. Yeah, and my only tiny nitpick is I probably would have preferred Beyonder in his sort of silver space armor than Disco Beyonder, but I'm okay with it. And
they made me buy a book because I hadn't read Secret Wars 2, and I was like, that's a Secret Wars 2 look, so I went out and bought Secret Wars 2. So they've cost me £15 for that outfit. That was shocking.
Yeah. So is it just for the record, Jay? Is it Titania or Titania for you?
It's Titania for me. I'm sure it's definitely Titania.
No, for the record, we all know it is Titania. She even says it's because of she's built like Titan. She's Titania. But Titania is more fun to say. And Quicksilver didn't come with the running hands like in his picture, which is annoying.
Yeah, I've just discovered that in my opening of a few hours ago. I was like, "Where's the running hands?" And it's these stupid.
He runs like the Flash from the DC universe, like a fucking spaz.
Todd did the same thing. He gave a hand that looked like this with one of the flashes I've got. So I don't know who's planning running figures, but they've never run like me when I get going there.
Everyone, we all run like this. No one runs like this. Who runs with gripping C's? It's stupid. Anyway, there you go. Great recap of 2024. A lot of figures. And again, I know the video title said best of 2024, but we did discuss some of the best of 24. But if you've been watching the video this long, I think you knew what the concept was going to be. It was going to be us recapping 2024. Me and Jay, for the record, we and Jay will both be doing our own separate top 10 lists on the channel. I'm going to try, I'm not going to promise, but I'm going to try and post mine Christmas Day. Or usually I'm pretty slow, but I might post mine Christmas Day. If it ain't Christmas Day, it'll probably be New Year's Eve, the last day of the year. But within that gap, usually I'm a bit slow. Last year I was ill and it was a bit late. I want to be on time this year. I'm going to try and get ahead of the game. So top 10 comic Marvel Legends coming before the end of the year. Are you going to do the same, Jay? You do your
We'll
top
do a
24, right?
I will do a top 10 of Marvel Legends
Okay.
separately, but I will try and do the traditional whatever year we're in. So it's the top 24 of 2024 will be coming, and I've got
And that's all
I don't know,
lines, everything you collect.
half the action figure lines on the planet to bloody go through.
Does that include Lego? Does it include Lego and Hot Toys and all that, or just action figures?
It's never had Lego. No, I include literally everything. So maybe
your Lego
it would include
if
Lego.
you're going to do a top 24 of 2024, then your Lego and Hot Toys are fair game. Because it's the top 24 things you have purchased this year or added to your collection that year.
Yeah. So I'll have to really build some of that first, though. That takes a while. I'm slower at building that than I am at unboxing action figures, and as you can see from today, that is slow.
Well, make sure you go check out Jay's channel, Jay's Toys Collection UK. The link is in the description below, but hopefully you already are anyway if you're familiar with this channel. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. We are going to go and do the bonus show. I have no Hot Toys. I do want one, but I don't have any. But I might get one. I'm thinking about getting one. I always wanted the Iron Man snap-in. Do you know, the battle damaged end of... Because it's just a representation of, that whole thing. So I'm still thinking about it. I've not done it yet, but I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll treat myself one Christmas. We never hit our goal today, which is okay. We've hit it the last couple of weeks. So I'll let you have a week off. And we have finished a little bit late today as well, so the after show will probably be a little bit later, so I apologise, but we haven't hit our goal today, but not to worry, that's okay. I forgive you all. It is a busy time of year. People are spending their money on presents. I get it. It's okay. I appreciate you all the same. Thank you for being here. But we are going to still do the after show, so let me jump to this. I will do a Turtles and Tea and Joe's and Juice before the end of the year. I just don't know when. Super Chats, as you know, but it's the end of the show, so that doesn't matter. But Who Crew Deluxe, the bonus show, is happening right now. And the Strong Collectors are going to be able to watch for the first time. So we're going to need to stop slagging them off on the after show now, because now they can finally watch it. But that used to be the only thing we did on the after show, was just slag off the Strong Collectors. But now they can view it, we best behave, I guess. So, Who Crew Deluxe. If you are a channel member at the Who Crew Deluxe tier, you can not only jump on the show, but you can watch it as well. But yeah, jump on the show if you're available. Why not? Strong Collectors, Dakota, are you available? Jump on. We're about to talk some toys, okay? What shall we ask them, Jay? What shall be the question for the after show today? Because we've got to recap the whole 2024 with people. And I don't want to know everyone's favourite of the year yet, because I want to save that for a Legends and Liquor, which isn't this weekend, by the way. The last Legend and Liquor of the year, I should have probably announced this. This is, since we're at the end of the show, I assume I'm amongst friends here, right? So the Legend and Liquor was meant to be the 15th. But because it's Christmas and you occasionally have to do stupid stuff with your missus to keep her happy, she's making me go to London with Ted to a Shih Tzu cafe so we can take our dog to go and visit a load of other Shih Tzus. I know, I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed. All I can do is apologise. But I also need to keep her on my good books. So that's what I'm doing Sunday, all right? I apologise. So instead, Legend of Liquor is going to be the 22nd, the week after, okay? Last Legend of Liquor of 2024 is going to be 22nd. There you go. So 22nd, all right? 22nd of December, the last Legend of Liquor of the year. That is where we will exchange our Secret Santa gifts if we have them. Hopefully everyone does by then, so you've got an extra week to get them. There isn't really any issues with shipping at the minute, so yeah, UK folk and the US guys, if you want to, you could do it on that day, but speak to Kurt K. He is the Father Christmas of the US. He's organising it over there. So yeah, make Ted scrap. Now, Ted's a lover, not a fighter. But yes, so Legend of Liquor is the 22nd. But today we will continue with the after show. I think Rich will be back next week for the last stream of the year, because forgive me, but I'm going to take Boxing Day off and get drunk. So the last Dan Who live stream of 2024 will be the 26th, which is 19th, sorry, which is next week. So I'll get Rich to think of something good for the last one of the year. Yeah, I'll leave that up to Rich. But Jay, any final words for the people before we go to the bonus show?
Now, the bonus show, you wanted a topic for the bonus show, so Don't tell us your favourite figure. Tell us, we've discussed every wave of the year. We've done in 2 hours every wave. So tell us your favourite wave of the year, and then we can save the favourite figures for later.
Yeah, I like
but
that.
then next week, I'm sure you will get Rich's hot takes on 2024.
Yeah, Rich hates everything, by the way. He hates everything. That's his gimmick these days. He just hates everything. He doesn't. He loves everything, but he pretends he hates everything. But yeah, we're going to go over to the after show. So if you are a Who Crew Deluxe member, we're going to continue the show, okay? So there's 130 odd people here. So if you want to see more content, if you want to just continue watching this show because we're just so damn entertaining for you, become a channel member, Who Crew Deluxe tier, all right? Lots of bonus content every single week. And you can be on the show, literally on the show right now, okay? We're going to go there right now. Give them a wave, Jay. I'll be back next week, and hopefully you'll be back for the last Legend Liquor, right? Secret Santa.
Yeah, I'll be around. Yes, all good to go.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, we're getting out of here. See you on the next one. Bye-bye. All right, hopefully I'll post some new videos this week. But yes, no Legend Liquor this week. I apologise about that. But let me know your favourite Marvel Legends of the year in the comments below. If you are watching on the replay, you know I appreciate you. I do read every comment, all right? Let me know some of your favourite Legends in the comments below. And I promise you, my top 10 is coming. Be on the lookout.